Right.
So we went to through a lot of just different meetings and design ideas of like, well, what's not fun in 2K, and we got called out by some NBA players of what wasn't
Like
fun.
ass grinding.
That kind of stuff. Like throwing the ball away on cherry pick passes.
Right.
Things you didn't have control over.
That's dope. Actually, you're saying exactly what I like to hear.
The tallest building in Michigan. We are nearly ready for... Well, guys, yeah, and he has their confidence. David, thank you. Just a quick look now at how the point totals have looked over the last few months for him.
And it's really been a nice trend for him over these last several months. He's been steadily improving in terms of his scoring output. That extra production making him more valuable the further we get along in this season.
So the New York starting five. We've got Mo Harkless, Randall out there with Taj Gibson. Then it's Barrett, and it's Payton in at point guard. And for Detroit, on the wings, Kennard and Snell. Wood out there with Griffin, and it's Rose in at the point. Now here's Rose from deep three-point range, and Harkless pulls it down. Now here's Barrett. He's tightly guarded from 13, and it's Gibson that time on the assist from Barrett. Kristen had a couple of teams that have been struggling. What's the vibe? What's the feel in the locker room when you're having a hard time finding wins and you're on a losing streak?
It depends on the chemistry of your team, specifically the leadership. Most times you want the team to be frustrated and be honoring that locker room when they're losing. As long as they're not pointing fingers and blaming at each other, but you don't want a happy losing locker room. That's just, you just don't want that. So you hope the guys are a little ticked off and they come to practice and take it out on each other because you want to get better every game. A happy losing locker room, you don't want to be around that. That's a locker room that won't be together next year because everyone has made their expectations to be losers. And though you're in the NBA, you really have to understand the balance. Sometimes you're going to win, sometimes you're going to lose, but a losing way of life is something that you just can't accept.
Controls the rebound and puts it back up and in.
He makes so many hustle plays, and here he's working the offensive glass to the tip.
Here's Rose. Whistle blows. Basket is good. So a chance here for a three-point play.
And as long as he retains that great explosion in his legs, Derrick Rose will be a factor around the rim. And Chris, just how special was it to play for Detroit in your career? What relationship does this team have with their fans?
Yeah, it was so special. I mean, being able to go home to the house that I grew up in, to where my parents lived, and be able to go to the Pistons practice and to be part of it, to put on that jersey. It was so special, man. This team is a mainstay of the city. I mean, you feel like you can lift up the whole city when you play for the Pistons. It was such a special part of my career.
And the second chance becomes a dunk. We could feel over here.
GA, such a good, aggressive play in the paint. Out to the wing. Here's Kennard. It's rebounded by New York.
He's not an easy man to stop when he's attacking the basket. The D doing everything it can.
Here's Harkless. And the Knicks miss again.
They know they can't give him that shot. The D's are over it, not even giving him an inch of space. That's one of the few times they'll get away with leaving him that wide open.
Up and in, it's good. First basket of the game for him. 1 for 4 shooting.
Attacking in transition, the most consistent way to generate easy looks.
Yeah, you can tell they love to get out and run when the opportunity is there. There's that passion of his, battling with every ounce of energy he has.
Now here's Gibson. He's guarded close. Randall right side. Griffin with the steal. Snell finds Rose. And the shot goes down. Rose has got his second bucket tonight.
I mean, what is there to say about that finish other than wow?
Pass to Barrett. First quarter of action, just under 3.5 minutes played. The baseline J off the mark. Here's Rose. It's rebounded by Payton.
And that is a textbook example of how to defend your rim.
Well, that's why he's out there right now. In situations like this, he stands tall to prevent points. You know, his offensive skill set is off the charts. He has more than a few ways to punish him.
Here's Rose, following the basket by Julius Randle. And the basket by Rose.
And defensively, they are on their heels every time the ball comes inside.
Knicks trail by 4. 58 seconds left to play here in the first. Now here's Harkless. He's covered closely. It's good.
And they've scored several times already here in the first quarter on the inside.
Here's Griffin, and Griffin slams it in.
And that's the role they want for Rose, getting guys going through his passing, especially when he can find them in rhythm.
And Kevin, they need to be consistent with their effort on the boards. You look at the box score, and they're at a definite disadvantage.
Now here's Griffin, and yes, it's good. Griffin's got 8.
Yeah, that was the third straight high percentage look the defense has allowed. The defenders have got to start putting bodies on bodies.
Here's Barrett, and Gibson wide open. He shoots. Hits the jumper in space.
And you see the passing instincts Barrett has. Great at recognition out on the floor.
Kennard kicks to Rose. At the elbow, Griffin. To the inside, and Griffin slams it in.
You have to keep this man out of the paint. Griffin, professional poster maker.
And they're scoring pretty well as we conclude the first quarter. The Pistons. And if you're just joining us, we've played through one quarter in this one. And guys, looking at what you've seen so far from the Pistons, what do you think?
Well, in that first quarter, they were intent on just pounding the ball down low.
Old school approach. I mean, if you have a favorable matchup inside, just keep pounding it in there.
And a chance here presented by Gatorade to see who's on the floor, all fueled up and ready to go for the start of the second quarter. On the court for the Pistons, we've got Brown. Doumbouya is out there with Griffin. And it's Mikhailuk in at the small forward position.
And a coach that players love is Dwayne Casey. Very vet-friendly, sticks up for his guys in every post-game interview.
Casey is very measured in his approach. He can be a bit slow to change at times, but his players appreciate the consistency.
Detroit with the ball after New York gets the 3. And the slam by Blake Griffin.
Oh, wow. Capable of scoring in many different ways. As soon as Griffin catches fire, he's hard to put out.
Ntilikina, 2 free throws coming up, and they call the shooting foul. And for Frank Ntilikina, some questions as to where he is best suited.
I mean, for me, I like when he plays more off the ball. I mean, he's shown that he could become a scorer when he only has to worry about that aspect of his game. Still very young and has a great set of skills with which to work.
Here's Galloway. 9-point game his last outing, and he's good on the 3-ball.
Give them credit. Offensively, they've been the more efficient team.
Yeah, and it's because of the looks they're getting. Their offense is creating some great opportunities.
So explosive moving towards the basket. Ntilikina is terrific at getting into the lane.
Here's Galloway, and contact on the shot, so he'll be shooting free throws here. It's on Bobby Portis.
Nice work to get it inside and draw the contact.
And Chris, one thing you have to like about Galloway is that he's always prepared to play.
Yeah, Galloway is the type of player that can see 5 minutes on the floor one game and then start and play 25 minutes the next one. I mean, just think about that focus for consistency. The production can be hit or miss, but he's a great plug-and-play option for a coach in need of filling minutes.
It's good, and the Piston lead has got down to just 6 points, and the bucket from Bullock. The Pistons have gone a nice 3 of 3 to start the second. And play stops. Whistle on what looks to be an illegal screen.
And here's a look at the stats for Robinson. He's been on a remarkable tear this past month. First in shooting percentage, 6th in blocks, and don't forget top 20 in the league in rebounds per game. He's got a great nose for the ball.
And you're right, he's been the pinnacle of scoring efficiency. Never seems to take a bad shot. That's why he's tops in field goal percentage. Bucket is good.
I mean, it took him a long time to get into the flow of the game, but the points are starting to come for him now.
Detroit leading by 4. Brown outside. Doesn't get it to drop for him. Now the Knicks take it the other way. Last time they met in New York.
And the last time they faced this club, rebounding was their big advantage.
Here's Knox. Lays it up off the glass. And now just a 2-point Piston lead.
Oh, that's not the kind of interior defense you want. Way too slow to protect the rim.
Brown the pass to McCray. Maker, no one around him, and a miss there on the triple.
Well, that's just a lucky break for the deep. Yeah, keep giving him that shot. Bad things will happen.
They now take the lead. Bullock's got 10. Some people have already predicted future MVPs. Is there a surprise name that you think could win that MVP award, Chris, down the road?
Oh, I think there are a few surprises. I mean, we can go young with young guys like Trae Young or Luka Doncic. We can go with guys that we expect to do it like Anthony Davis, who it just seems like he's just biting at the bit. There's a few young Celtics. There's a few young Lakers that in a few years you never know what they could do, especially the ones that are playing with great guys and watching their practice habits, game habits, stealing their recipes or stealing what they eat before the game and their health-wise. So many guys right now that are going to be in that second tier coming up. It's going to be fun to watch their growth.
It will. The pass to Portis. And the call on the shot that sends him to the line. And the former Razorback, Bobby Portis, took a few years to find his spot in the NBA. Now he does produce.
And great big man to bring in off the bench. Good size and quickness combination, and will always give you scoring with that second unit.
Luke.
He wasn't playing on that. He was
That was incredible. Pass to Payton. Now here's Barrett. Pass to Randall. Payton outside. Back to Randall. 4 on the shot clock. Barrett dishes to Randall. Shoots over Henson. The putback. He hangs in there and cashes in on the second chance points.
And the rebound battle split evenly thus far.
To the paint. And John Henson with the slam.
Oh, great flow to that possession. Two players totally in sync with each other.
Payton passes to Barrett. Takes the 13-footer. Buries the jump shot.
An effective mid-range scorer. Barrett excels at finding openings in the defense and capitalizing.
Maker misses. Now, here's Barrett. Not a lot of room. And that one clearly a foul. Gets the whistle and 2 shots coming up. He's made 1 and missed 1 so far in the game.
Born in Toronto, Barrett joins a talented group of Canadians who have entered the NBA ranks.
Right side Rose. And the last shot at the buzzer doesn't go in for him. Thank you, David, and we'll be right back after halftime to start the third quarter.
It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hey, welcome back to 2K. New York holding the upper hand after the first 2 quarters. They lead by 1. That's all for now.
And in that first half, we saw a pretty tight battle. We'll soon find out what sort of adjustments were discussed during the half. You look at Blake Griffin in this game, he's been everywhere.
Yeah, pretty much all throughout that first half, and he was taking care of his business on the low blocks and getting more than his fair share of dunks.
Well, they haven't found a way to keep him quiet inside. I mean, their best bet probably would be to deny him the ball altogether, because when he gets it, they can't stop him.
Tipping off the second half, here's David Fizdale's 5. They've got Elfrid Payton. Harkless is out there with Randall. Then it's Taj Gibson. And it's Barrett at the 2 guard. On the sideline, let's catch up with Hall of Famer David Aldridge.
Kevin, before he became a head coach in Memphis and New York, David Fizdale spent 8 seasons as an assistant under Eric Spoelstra in Miami. Now, Spo said He's a brilliant basketball mind that has exceptional gold standard level communication skills. One of the most talented coaches I've been around. So Kevin, Fizdale is highly respected.
David, he sure is. Great reputation. Now getting his shot. Thank you so much. And Griffin stays with it. Griffin's got 4 points in the quarter.
More good work on the glass there. When it's all said and done, I think rebounding might tell the story in this game.
Randall right side. Rose against Payton. Rose, good. Now it's a 5-point Piston lead.
They're consistently finding ways to get the ball inside and taking full advantage.
And Harkless with the basket on the assist by Payton. Payton's got his 3rd assist on the night. Rose with the ball. 11 points in the game. Kept alive.
They're doing a really good job of getting the ball inside and attacking the paint. That's an area they have completely dominated.
Payton dishes to Randall. Griffin with some nice D. And here's Griffin. He'll bring it up for the Pistons. They lead by 4.
Oh, well, Kev, you know I always appreciate when a big man can create for others. And Blake Griffin, he's one of the best in the game in that regard. Such a fantastic passer.
Pass to Harkless. And they call the foul, so a chance at the line for one more coming up.
Yeah, he earned that one. I mean, taking the hit and still able to get that one to go down.
For the Pistons, Doomboy is checked in for Tony Snell. Brown comes in for Luke Kennard. And Langston Galloway subbed in for Rose. And a new group in for the Knicks. Robinson's checked in for Gibson. Kevin Knox comes in for Julius Randle. Reggie Bullock, he's checked in for Barrett. And it's Ntilikina in for Elfrid Payton. Galloway lays it up and banks it in. And the Pistons lead by 5. Chris, you almost forget just how big Griffin is because of how smoothly he can facilitate for others.
Yeah, Kevin, and I hate when people say he's a good passer for a big man. I mean, what type of caveat is that? He's just a good passer. He has great vision, superb timing, and that's why he's always been near the top in assists for bigs.
Knox the pass to Robinson. And now the fast break. Griffin with the ball. Up the floor. Galloway dishes to Brown. And that one drops. And it's a 7-point Detroit lead.
Oh, that's some skill on that assist. I mean, the timing has to be perfect on a lead pass.
An active passer with good awareness. When Ntilikina spots the open teammate, he gets it to him.
1:30 left in the 3rd quarter. Here's Harkless, and oh boy, a lot of contact there, but he gets the call and will shoot 2. It's going to be on Sekou Doumbouya. The Knicks have shot the ball well from the free throw line, 8 of 9. Wayne Ellington's checked in for the Knicks, and the second free throw, good. And out of St. John's, Mo Harkless in his 7th NBA season.
Yeah, and he's coming into his own as a defensive-minded wing. I mean, his offense is still a work in progress, but he's still in his mid-20s. He's got some time. And that's almost a sure thing when you leave him that wide open on the perimeter. I mean, that's his sweet spot.
Wing shot on the way, and it's Bullock missing.
Golden opportunity that he can't make good on. Maybe a wake-up call to the D, though. They can't leave him alone like that.
It's out of bounds. The Pistons able to retain possession here. Bobby Portis is checked in for Harkless. Here's Galloway. He's got 7. And the pass to Henson. 5 to shoot. Here's McRae. In the corner, it's Maker. The 3. And another 3 for Detroit.
A sharp weapon from Maker, active in trying to get himself going from beyond the arc.
Ntilikina kicks to Ellington. And Henson sends it back. And he recovers it. Some nice passing by New York here. Here's Robinson, and Robinson throws it down.
And no doubt they'd love to see him get a lot more of those opportunities.
And that deficit will go away quickly if he does, Greg. Here's Galloway. He gives his team some nice contributions, averaging a bit over 10 points a game. The putback can't hit the putback. And so it's the Detroit Pistons in the driver's seat, up 8 points at the end of the quarter. They're shooting the ball. And from the most recent huddle, let's listen in on head coach Dwayne Casey.
Solid defense wins this game right here. All right,
The fourth quarter has arrived. So good to have you with us. Here's Payton. On the wings, Kennard and Snell. Then there's Griffin, and it's Rose, and it's Mikhailuk in at the 4. That's the group for Detroit right now. Here's Portis. Got a piece of it. Out left to the wing. Just 3 to shoot. Payton finds Portis. Here's Robinson. And he gets the whistle. 2 free throws coming up. Here's a look at what's coming up for New York. On Friday, they're off to Miami to face off with the Heat. Then on Tuesday, they'll head home to take on the Charlotte Hornets.
And if I'm this team, I'm looking at this as a barometer to see how we stack up against some of the top teams in the league. They'll have to be at their best, but if they come out of this with some success, I think it'll build momentum for the rest of the run.
Looking at who's out there now for the Knicks. Julius Randle comes in for Portis, and Kevin Knox is subbed in for Wayne Ellington. Pistons leading by 6. Rose passes to Kennard, and he gets it to go.
Sometimes you don't need a haymaker, just a jab. You got to get those easy looks inside.
Here's Barrett. No good on the 3. The Pistons shooting one of the high points for them in this game at 54%. Here's Mikhailuk. And he gets the basket. Officials blowing the whistle, so a chance at the line for one more.
And that's when a double team hurts the defense. I mean, when they're guarding the player, smart enough to pass out of it and find the man left alone.
Wood, he's checked in for Tony Snell. Taj Gibson's checked in for the Knicks. And a trying summer for the New York Knicks fans. After trading away Porzingis, they were hoping to get a big-name player in free agency, Greg, and they didn't.
You know, shocking they refused to offer the max to Kevin Durant. I mean, there were concerns with the Achilles, but instead he ends up in Brooklyn. Combine that with fans' disappointment at missing out on Zion Williamson, and the saga continues.
And Griffin sends it back. And the ball travels out of bounds. It was last touched by Payton. Just about 1.5 minutes gone by here in the fourth. Outside Rose. Here's Griffin. Yes, and it's Rose with the assist that time. Rose has got 6 assists now in the game. Here's Payton. And he overshot that one, missing.
Boy, you can just see the frustration growing on their faces. Nothing going their way.
It's something that happens to every team. You just have to ride it out, play your hardest, and live with the results.
Pistons leading by 16. Here's Rose. Uses the glass to finish the layup.
And that's the Derrick Rose of old. Full speed ahead and bursting to the rim.
Barrett drains the three-pointer.
And from beyond the arc, he puts a stop to that 12-0 run by Detroit.
Rose against Payton. Wood kicks to Kennard. Wood passes to Griffin. It's rebounded by New York. Now, here's Barrett, and he uses the glass on the layup. Barrett's got 5 points now this quarter.
I love seeing Barrett cash in there. He knows he has what it takes to finish through contact.
Tipped away, and Elfrid Payton with the foul. That'll be his second foul of the game. Chris, over the last 40 years, a steady decline in offensive rebound. Largely due, I'm guessing, to the concern with transition defense, right?
Definitely. And let's give respect to the offensive rebounding that it should have. Whenever you had guys like Rodman, Popeye Jones, guys that used to you'd have nightmares about because they were such great rebounders. Ben Wallace. Well, now it's a little bit different because those guys were playing the 4 position, right? So now at the 4 position, you have to get back on defense because if you're not, guys are shooting threes from Curry land in the 4 position because the game is evolving. So now it is better to get back in transition than trying to get an extra possession for your team. You still want to attack the glass. You just want to make sure you know who's in the game at that time because now you have guys leaking out, getting a quick shot on that other end.
And this is going to end in a lopsided victory. I love the tenacity and aggressiveness as well as the ability to close. You really got to give it up here for the Pistons.
And it may be a comfortable win for him, but, you know, they had to weather a few storms along the way, and that's all part of the story.
Yeah, Kevin, this was by no means the runaway that it might appear to be. It was a scrappy performance, though, all the way through.
And I think a great job in positioning themselves for the W here. It's win number 21 on the season. And, you know, when you look at the huge impact he had, just a monster game for Blake Griffin.
Oh, man, anticipation, instincts, energy, all his tools were on display tonight as he lit the place up.
Not going to go that time, so New York will take it the other way. And there's the foul. It's on Tony Snell. That is his first foul of the game. And the Pistons, an entirely new group now out there, and a new group in for the Knicks. Robinson's checked in for Gibson. Bobby Portis comes in for Randall. Dotson's checked in for Reggie Bullock. And it's Dennis Smith in for Elfrid Payton.
And no doubt Smith has the vision. When one of his guys has a clean look, he's quick to get the ball to them.
Here's McKyler, defended by Harkless. Clock at 6. The Pistons need to get off a shot here. Doumbouya, and the jam by Doumbouya.
And you can sense that these fans, these players, they are ready to celebrate.
And you know they are, sure. I mean, come on, the finish line is in sight. All they have to do is play it smart.
I tell you what, at only 6'3", Smith has some major hops. Super at leaping up quickly to throw it down. And it's just competing, you know, giving your best when it matters most.
David, thank you as always. And that's going to do it tonight, folks, for our broadcast. For Greg Anthony.
benefits to the stick, resulting in unprecedented improvements to shooting, puck pickups, upper and lower body fluidity, and goaltending. Unprecedented improvements to shooting, puck pickups, upper and lower body fluidity, and goaltending.
Like to hear. And this is the first time for you guys in a while where you had like a generation jump. Is there anything like you're real excited about?
There's some really cool stuff with movement, I'll say that. The movement and the feel of the game from current gen to next gen is like this giant leap. And on top of that, you know, I'm not a graphics guy, I'm not an artist, but when I look at it as a fan of the game, I'm like, man, I'm blown away by what that team has accomplished too. So it just looks incredible. It's like the
And in the locker room, each guy has been going over. Let's quickly take a look at the standings out east. The season nearly complete. Taking a look at the Hornets, they're 10th in the conference, still looking to claim a spot for the playoffs. And, of course, the Knicks, a couple spots below.
And I think for the Knicks, they've had such a disappointing season. Even when they've gotten a little bit of momentum, they haven't been able to keep it going.
It just feels like they're sputtering right now. Every time you think they've turned the corner, they really haven't.
So the New York starting five, they've got Payton. Taj Gibson is out there with Randall. Then there's Mo Harkless, and it's Barrett at the 2 guard. And for the Hornets, Bismack Biyombo is out there with Washington. Then it's Bridges. Then there's Terry Rozier, and it's Graham in at the 2. So the wing on the left. Here's the 3, and another 3 for Charlotte. Both these teams, Doris, relying tonight on the execution in their half-court game.
A little bit of a throwback, sort of an old-fashioned approach tonight. Don't worry, we're going to have plenty of highlights. It is the NBA. We know there are great players on both sides of the ball, Kev, but how about this ability to execute under duress of a 24-second shot clock? It's going to be really interesting to watch.
They're 1 of 4 here to start, looking to get it to a flow offensively.
To the wing right side. Bridges kicks to Rozier. Graham, the pass to Washington. Just 5 on the clock. Shot from 16. Does not find the mark. He's made 2 and missed 1 now. The Knicks have gone just 1 of 4 to get this game started. Randall.
Well, what you want to see from Elfrid Payton are floor general skills on full display. Finds the open teammate. Nice.
Here's Graham. He had a 27-point outing in their last game against the Heat in Miami.
And what a wrecking ball defensively, seen by the 4 steals he had in that game.
Now, here's Rozier. The Hornets need to get a shot off here. Up again. He can't get that one to fall. Now the Knicks take it the other way. They're coming into this game off that recent loss to Atlanta. Here's Barrett. And he takes it in for the layup off a very nice feed. Barrett's got his second basket.
Making plays in traffic. This is where Barrett's most effective.
If you're just tuning in, we've played about 2.5 minutes here in the first. Rozier for 3. Knicks with the rebound. And with the 6'8" arm span, Terry Rozier, Doris, plays a lot bigger than his 6'1" height.
Kevin, there is no doubt this is one of the outstanding rebounders from the guard position. He is an excellent defensive player. Scary Terry can hurt you on both ends of the floor.
Here's Graham. After R.J. Barrett's bucket. Passes it to Graham. Back to Bridges. Inside, it's tipped. It's stolen by Randall. And now the fast break. Gibson with the ball. Here's Barrett. Misses off the right iron. Charlotte trailing. He lobs it up.
I love the fact that Bridges does a little bit of everything, including passing the ball.
Here's Harkless. The layup off target.
And typically he has the touch to finish when he's in tight, but not sure on that possession.
Bridges misses. And there's the foul. It's on Miles Bridges. That is his first foul of the game. Cody Zeller's checked in for the Hornets. Dwayne Bacon comes in for Bridges. Then for the Knicks, Mitchell Robinson's checked in for Gibson. Kevin Knox comes in for Maurice Harkless. And it's Reggie Bullock in for Barrett.
That is some tough defense there against one of the better finishers in our game.
Pulls it up. They get it again. And Zeller kicks to Graham. Sinks the triple. Graham's got 9.
And that's exactly what he's looking for, draining the triple.
It's deflected. Pass to Zeller. And the dunk by Zeller.
Not the kind of aggressive defense they need to cut into the lead.
Yeah, you have to protect the rim, Greg, a little better.
They're just too slow to react. You can't afford to sleepwalk through possessions. What's going on out there?
And not the prototype power forward, but he has tremendous athletic ability.
Here's Graham. He's guarded by Bullock. The 19-foot shot, and there's another one for the Hornets.
You know, I really like this. Instead of putting his head down, Terry Rozier keeping his eyes up and finding his open teammate.
Shot and game clock separated by 5. And stolen by Zeller. Here's Graham. He's guarded by Bullock. Here's Washington. Robinson with the block. Here's Bullock. Here's Payton. And it is good at the buzzer. Wow.
And give him.
We've got more in store for you right after this. And if you're just tuning in, it's been a pretty even game through the first quarter. What stands out to you guys from the Hornets in this one?
Just stretching out the floor in that first. They had the defense scrambling.
And that was obviously the plan coming in. Now the big question, can they maintain that efficiency from range as the game goes along?
And now let's check out the lineups courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go. Here's the second quarter of play. And New York, looking at who they've got. They've got Reggie Bullock. Bobby Portis out there with Mitchell Robinson. And it's Ntilikina in at the 1. Here's Bacon. Nothing yet on the scoreboard for him. Clock at 4. Here's Graham, and they force the shot clock violation. Great D. And how about a look now at the first-year block leaders in the NBA? Here are the top rookie intimidators. You look at Washington, an intimidating defender, 3rd in the league.
And that ability to send shots away at the rim, so highly valued, it takes guts to put yourself in harm's way and contest those finishers.
Here's Knox. That's in, and he found his range with that one. Now 1 for 2.
Man, have they been effective at getting the ball inside.
Well, you look at the length of Knox, Doris, his arm span, his frame. He can be a handful.
No doubt. Kevin Knox is able, because of that frame you talked about, to shrug off contact and muscle through most players. His reach allows him to be disruptive on the defensive end. So in terms of the physical metrics, you love what this guy brings to the table.
Wayne Ellington's checked in for New York. Outside for Batum. They get the rebound. Here's Zeller, and he banks in the layup. Zeller's got his second basket of the night.
And the D getting outworked there on the putback. Can't let that happen.
Greg, you have got to put a body on somebody. We talk about it ad nauseum, but you've got to be disciplined with the box outs.
And on our sideline, our reporter, David Aldridge.
Well, Kevin, Charlotte's had to wait a bit the last few years. Now, the city hosted the All-Star game last season. But for the Hornets, they've gone 3 seasons without a playoff appearance and 15 seasons without winning a playoff series. In that time, the franchise has had 7 head coaches and a shifting front office. But Buzz City is hoping that its wait for playoff relevance will end soon. Kevin?
We all are. David, thank you.
Well, not sure who was responsible for the blockout, but this guy got in there and dug out his points.
Here's Ntilikina. And that one hits back iron.
All by himself, trying to step up. He's got to be frustrated with the miss.
Here's Washington. Second shot opportunity. Zeller passes to Washington. That shot misses. And New York will come the other way. When this game is done, they'll be off to Miami to take on the Heat. That's game 4 of 4 out on the road for them. Over in the corner, Zeller. Charlotte moving it around. Washington passes to Graham. Feeds it to Zeller. And the dunk by Zeller.
Outstanding pass, on time and on target.
About 3 minutes played so far in the second quarter. Here's Ntilikina. 20 points for him last game against Atlanta.
Well, in addition to the scoring, he found ways to initiate contact from the defense and get himself to the line. The defense clearly frustrated, trying to get a way to stop him.
Here's Bacon, and that's a foul. It's called on Wayne Ellington. That's his first foul. Doris, who are some of your favorite players to interact with, interview, and question as you go through the season?
Yeah, I mean, there's so many guys. I think, you know, certain people really give a lot of thought to their answers. So Kyrie Irving, he wants to explain what he's thinking. He's willing to share and take a moment and consider the question. Kevin Durant, Steph Curry, Damian Lillard, all of these guys, when I ask a question, Kev, they'll pause for a moment, consider the question, and then respond. And for somebody who's got to interview, there's nothing greater than having those guys willing to take some time with me.
Norris, and you always get great answers from them, too. So there's a great rapport there, I can see. And the shot is good. Portis has got 4 points in the quarter.
And guys, they continue to put a lot of pressure on the interior defenders with their work down low.
Zeller finds Batum. There's 53 seconds left in the second quarter. Shot by Zeller, no good.
And the way he was able to reach out towards that release had an impact.
Well, no question. He altered that shot, and most of the time, that's just as good as blocking it.
And with this kind of momentum behind him, Barrett, a terror. Love seeing him hammer it home.
Great positioning on the putback. And the Hornets lead by 8.
A good job by him on the glass here tonight. +8 in that department.
It's 9 seconds separating the shot clock and game clock. And it's Batum with the ball, bringing it up for the Charlotte Hornets. Their last meeting was in this building where they were able to come out on top.
And in that one, the offensive execution made the difference. They found and exploited the mismatch repeatedly.
It was certainly a game that their analytics people had to love breaking down. I thought they exposed every weakness in the defense.
Last game for the Charlotte Hornets, it was a loss to the Heat. Payton passes to Knox. Payton against Rozier. The shot by Payton, no good. Batum with the 3. And so it's the Charlotte Hornets with a 10-point lead. Some breathing room heading into the break. They're pounding the ball. All right, David, thank you. And stay with us, folks. We'll be back just after halftime to get the third quarter started.
And now, the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hey, and welcome back. The first quarter for the Hornets was fairly even. At the end of the period, they held a 3-point. And that does it for our half.
And for those of you just tuning in, thanks for being with us. The second half of this game still to play. Hornets leading by 10. Inside, Cody Zeller and Bismack Biyombo. Then there's Terry Rozier. Then it's Bridges. And it's Graham in at the 2-guard spot. So that's who James Borrego starts the second half with.
Guys, when you consider the New York Knicks roster, there is some talent amongst their young players. More than a handful of their guys in their first 3 years in the league. Kevin Knox, Mr. Robinson, and Mr. Dotson all could be factors for them in the future.
From deep. No good that time. Now the Knicks take it the other way. Barrett dishes to Payton. And he's fouled pretty hard on that shot, but he's got the chance to pick up the points at the line. Doris with the youth. The Knicks added Dennis Smith to that bunch as well.
No doubt, Kevin. This was a player they had their eyes on. So when you couple Dennis Smith Jr. with some of the young assets they've collected over the last couple of years, there's a ton of young talent coming up in New York right now.
And the Hornets making a change here. Washington's checked in. Pass to Bridges. Now the pass to Washington. 2 points. That one goes. Washington's got 8.
Terrific play call to give him a clean look at the rim. That's how you want to start the second half.
Well, there is nothing better than catching a rhythm as early as possible. And boy, that's a terrific start right there.
Incredible night for Barrett. He scores in a multitude of ways, and he brings the effort on every possession.
Knicks trail by 11. That's the 6th make from the field. He's taken 9 shots and missed but 3.
They're finding lanes to the hoop now with consistency. 5 buckets in a row from the paint.
For 3, Bridges. Charlotte gets it back. And there's the foul. It goes on Taj Gibson. That is his first foul of the game. And New York making a change here. Bullock's checked in. Now Biyombo. Taking a look at his stats, he's averaging around 7.5 points a game. And it's out of bounds. The Hornets able to retain possession here. And we've got an update here, so let's catch up with David Aldridge.
Well, we all know that circumstances and time changes everything. In Dallas, Dennis Smith Jr. thought he was going to be the cornerstone. But with the arrival of Luka Doncic, everything changed. The promising point guard was traded to the Knicks. And Smith said it was important. It's a big opportunity, and I've just got to make the most of it. Well, Kevin, we know one thing in New York, the ball is back in Smith's hands.
And D.A., that's when he is at his best. Thank you.
That pass had to be thrown not only in the right spot, but at the right time.
And now, in his second year coaching the Knicks, David Fizdale putting more of a stamp on this team, changing the mindset of the franchise.
Well, the New York Knicks hired David Fizdale to steer the ship with a group of young players. And I want you to think back to where he earned his stripes. That was with the LeBron James and Dwayne Wade championship Miami teams. So he knows culture and he knows winning.
Wayne Bacon's checked in for Charlotte. Then for the Knicks, Robinson's checked in for Gibson. Kevin Knox comes in for Harkless. And Ellington is subbed in for Baton. Nicholas Batum, he's checked in for Bridges. And New York with a change here too. Portis is checked in. Bullock, good.
Yeah, this offense is rolling. They've been assertive, but they're also playing under control.
I think the communication on offense is working at every level right now. What a run for this group.
Rozier looking around. Knicks with the rebound. Their offense has been great here.
Yeah, the ball movement has been terrific, and they've kept the defense off balance.
Kicks it to Batum. Passes it to Washington. .131 left to play in the third.
And just tacks a few more points onto their lead with the tomahawk.
That's bringing it down hard. Batum with the steal. And a fast break now for the Hornets. Batum's running. Oh, and they get in the way of the alley-oop. Not to be. Good play defensively. Portis, the pass to Knox. Here's Robinson. It's rebounded by Charlotte. Biyombo's got 6 rebounds now in the game. Here's Washington. Good on the three-point shot. And now a 9-point Hornets lead.
And at the offensive end, he's done about as much as they could have hoped for today.
Absolutely ferocious finish from Mr. Knox. Just salute him.
50 seconds left here in the third quarter. Outside, Batum. Pass to Bacon. Here's Washington. Defended by Portis. Just 5 to shoot. Rozier kicks to Biyombo. Back to Rozier. Shoots over Ellington. Robinson pulls it in. Knicks trail by 7. There's 18 seconds left in the third quarter of the game. Back to Bullock. Here's Knox. Solid play in the low block, and that one's good. Knox has got 4 this quarter.
Well, check out that assist. That's a pair of teammates that are clearly on the same page.
Batum for 3. The shot comes out, and we've watched 3 so far in this one. It's Charlotte leading by 5. And when we return, we'll get the fourth quarter rolling. And it's been a very competitive game so far as we get rolling here in quarter number 4. And here's Payton. He'll bring it up for New York. Trailing by 5. Setting the floor for the Knicks. Barrett not for the wingmen. Taj Gibson is out there with Randall. And it's Payton in at the 1 spot.
And they're passing the ball very crisply here.
Charlotte has gone 6 of 14 with the 3 ball tonight. Just a little over 40%. Oh, and here we go. Knox has got it. The fast break chance. Poked away. Gibson passes to Knox. Banked in off the glass.
What you love about Kevin Knox is that size and frame, because it allows him to get easy opportunities on the inside.
And Elfrid Payton with the foul. That's his first foul. Both teams will make substitutions. And there's the foul. It'll go on Mo Harkless. That's foul number 2 for him. Here's Washington. He's defended by Randall, and the call will be against R.J. Barrett. That is his first foul of the game. Here's Washington. To the middle. It's taken away by Payton. And a fast break now for New York. Payton with the ball. Here's Harkless, and foul on the shot, so he'll get a chance at the line. That one is off. No good on the second free throw.
The game has been very close in a lot of areas, but rebounding has been the one differentiator thus far.
And the call will be against Julius Randle. That is his first foul of the game.
And still early in the period, and they're only 1 foul away from being over the limit.
Washington passes to Graham. He feeds it to Zeller. Gibson with the steal.
And that's sort of a picture of what not to do on those last 2 possessions. They're being way too loose with the ball.
This, to me, is what you want from Elfrid Payton. Share the basketball, make your teammates feel good.
Payton against Rozier. Washington passes to Bridges. Pass to Washington. Shot clock at 5. That shot off, and New York the other way now. It's 3-on-3 on the fast break. Here's Randall. Count the bucket, coming off a perfectly placed assist. Randall's got the lead up to 3 now for the Knicks. Rozier with the ball. To end the drought, and he dunks it down.
This guy's such a fluid, powerful athlete. No doubt, Mr. Rozier.
Here's Payton. It's rebounded by Charlotte.
Not sure what the D was doing there. Clearly a breakdown. You can ill afford to give a guy like him that good a look.
And the basket by Rozier. Well, as we move into the fourth, it's been an even game.
Guys, teams have exchanged the lead 5 times thus far.
And there's the pass to Graham. Makes it off the glass. And now a 3-point Hornets lead.
And how about the grit and determination in the post? I mean, essential qualities to have late in a close game.
Barrett, no good.
You can see he just rushed that a little bit. Lost the focus, I think.
And Charlotte again with the bucket. Knicks trail by 5. Payton left side. He kicks it to Barrett. 1:37 left in the fourth quarter. And it's the Hornets ball. It's been 8 unanswered points for him. Down low. Now, here's Bridges. Hands it from downtown.
And creating a little separation here, gaining some confidence.
Well, if you continue to execute at both ends, you can build on this lead.
Charlotte leading by 8. So the first one drops, and that will put them up by 9. And the Hornets making a change here. Biyombo's checked in, and he makes both free throws. For New York, they've gone 4 of 8 in this fourth quarter, shooting an even 50% from the field. Now, here's Barrett. Graham defending. Harkless on the wing. 6 on the shot clock. Passes to Randall. Tries again. Nice jump shot. Good.
And in dropping that one, he stops a 13-0 run by Charlotte.
Over in the corner, Rozier. There's 39 seconds left in the game. Back to Biyombo. That's good, and it's Rozier with the assist. And the Hornets lead by 10.
And once they smelled blood in the water, you could see the killer instinct take over.
And you want to save your best for last. Tonight, they've done that and then some.
Bridges with it. Now Payton defending. Bridges misses. And so it's Randall bringing it up now for the Knicks. No good from Gibson. Graham kicks to Rozier. Biyombo, the pass to Rozier. Graham. Back to Rozier. Bridges for 3. No good. And so it's the Hornets taking care of business in this one. Some good competition, but the hometown advantage and their ability to stay focused, I think, made the difference.
Yeah, and
unprecedented improvements to shooting, puck pickups, upper and lower body fluidity, and goaltending. unprecedented improvements to shooting, puck pickups, upper and lower body fluidity, and goaltending.
lighting looks crazy. The details and the texture of the skin, everything just looks so lifelike.
That's awesome, man. I'm not gonna lie, you get me excited.
So, Agent, you've been really vocal about gameplay in a lot of the videos and the content that you create. You play a lot of Pro-Am, you play a lot of Park. What's one thing you want to see improved on from a gameplay standpoint?
There needs to be like a variety of like effective animations. What I saw happen a couple times in 2K20 was
Welcome, fans. Thanks for joining us for this. And a chance to take a look at some numbers for him.
And he's been very active with his hands. How about the steal numbers this month? He's been really hounding on the defensive side.
So a look at our starters for the Knicks. Barrett is out there with Payton. Then there's Mo Harkless. Then it's Taj Gibson. And it's Randall in at the power forward. And for Washington, Hachimura and Bryant are in the middle. Brown out there with Shabazz Napier. And it's Bonga in at the 3 spot.
And his coaches and teammates love that. They want Hachimura getting after it more on that offensive glass.
They get it back. Randall drops in the layup for 2.
Well, he takes care of salvaging that possession for the offense by getting on the offensive glass.
Bryant trying to free himself up, and that one's good. Hachimura. Brandon, looking ahead to the playoffs, when you made your first postseason appearance, were you surprised by the intensity you found once you got there?
Kevin, it was my second season. I was playing for the Clippers, so getting into the playoffs was quite miraculous on the Tony Court for the organization. But the level of detail in the playoffs and intensity in the playoffs, they know everything that you're going to do. And we were playing against the Utah Jazz, which at that time...
Some pretty good players.
Yes, Karl Malone, John Stockton, Jeff Hornacek, the great Jerry Sloan as the head coach. It was a wonderful experience, but you understood that the playoffs were different. Absolutely something different in terms of the intensity and what it is that that team knew about you. Shooting 4 of 5 to start the game, that's got to be a feel-good.
Payton, that's good.
An assertive Elfrid Payton is a better Elfrid Payton.
Brown, the pass to Bryant. Second chance shot. Yes, that goes in.
And their offense already in a flow. Some stellar shooting to jump out to this lead.
Count the basket. Payton's got his second bucket of the night.
Good slice and dice from Payton there in the lane, finding room.
The drive by Bryant, and he takes it in for the layup off a very nice feed.
Just setting the tone with an aggressive move to the rack. And where's the help defensively?
Are you asking me, GA? I'm not sure.
Boy, he is looking confident. Love how they're using him so far.
Yeah, right now I don't see any let up, GA. I think he's going to just keep putting his foot on that gas pedal tonight.
Not the kind of aggressive defense they need to cut into the lead.
Yeah, you have to protect the rim, Greg, a little better.
Good job to recognize the opportunity. That's just very solid offense.
Here's Brown, following the basket by Julius Randle. Here's Harkless. It's not going to go for him. Now Washington takes it the other way. They are coming into this having notched a win against the Knicks in their last game.
Yeah, it just felt to me like they wanted it more. I mean, didn't get down emotionally when they got behind. And how about that third quarter comeback? One for the Agents.
The Wizards shooting their first free throws of the game. So both teams making some changes here. Knicks trail by 6. Well, it's a new front office in Washington, and Greg, they've got their work cut out for them.
John Wall's huge Supermax contract as he deals with the Achilles injury. Tough questions to be answered about the direction they're going to take talent-wise.
Here's Hachimura. He has 6. Here's Mahimi. Robinson pulls it in.
There's a little bit of pressure on him, but not enough to cause him to miss a shot that's in that close.
And Portis throws it down.
Ntilikina sensing when one of his guys was not covered, and then he found him.
Here's Hachimura. After the made shot from Bobby Portis. Right side, Bryant. And Bryant slams it in.
And he might be small for a center, but boy, can he jump out of the building.
There's the lob to Portis. Hammers the alley-oop through.
Ntilikina showing his role right there as a distribution player.
Out to the right wing. Back to Bryant. He's looking for Mahinmi and finds him. Pass to Bryant. And denied. He sends it right off the glass. So it's Ntilikina who brings up the ball for New York. Trailing by 4. Wizards beat them last time when these two teams met in Washington.
Yeah, and their last time playing against this club, they fell short. A lot of cheap fouls really plagued their starting.
And folks, the coach's challenge has been initiated for a personal foul. Close game like this, and he thought it wasn't a good call.
And I think when it comes to some of the more difficult calls to make, personal fouls can be tough. The action is so fast that it's really tough to catch everything in real time.
The wonders of technology, Greg. We've seen replay reviews so effectively and involving the coaches by being able now. A challenge like this is something a lot of people have been hoping for. And so the word is in. They've decided that the call stands as it was made on the floor.
And, you know, even if a coach still feels this wasn't the right call, you got to acknowledge the effort being put in to reviewing it. The double checking, and the game continues on.
Smith kicks to Robinson. Wizards passing it around. The shot by Mahinmi, no good.
And right from the start, Kevin, they've been pounding the glass. Most of those 50-50 balls also going their way. Fantastic ball movement. They're picking them apart with their passing.
Here's Wagner, defended by Portis. Back to Robinson. 4 seconds left. Lost contact on the shot, and now a three-point play chance as he'll head to the line.
I mean, the number of points they've scored in the paint already here is eye-opening.
And this is his first trip to the line tonight.
Numbers this year at the line below 70, so when he's getting to the line, not nearly as effective as he'd like.
No shortage of scoring here at the... Frank Ntilikina has established himself as a legit defender.
Defense is 80% of real. And
a young player with an advanced understanding of defense, and his length gives him an edge.
And his defense is something he enjoys. If he can put it all together at both ends, he's a player you can build around.
And hope you've enjoyed the broadcast so far. Halfway through the first half in this one. And what stands out to you from Washington in this one?
Hey. Why take jump shots when you can get your points at the rim?
Yeah, that worked wonders for them in the quarter. We'll see what kind of adjustments get made.
You've got Hachimura. Mahinmi is out there with Wagner. Then there's Ish Smith. And it's Robinson in at the shooting guard. That's the group on the floor right now for Washington. Knicks trail by 7.
And now a chance to see the former Demon Deacon Ish Smith in action. Has been in the league for a while now and played for several teams, and he's a veteran through and through.
And there's the foul. It'll go on Frank Ntilikina. That's his first foul. So for the Wizards, Bonga's checked in, and it's Brown in for Robinson. And then for New York, Randall's checked in for Portis, and it's Elfrid Payton in for Ntilikina. And when you have Ish Smith on your team, you know he's going to give you scoring off the bench.
And Smith not exactly great at any one thing, but the whole package is solid for a reserve. As long as you can make the right decision and just run the offense, that can get you pretty far in this league. Just in a perfect position to grab that rebound and then get the putback.
Baseline J on the way. Robinson pulls it in. Robinson's got 4 rebounds in this game.
Nothing seems to be going down for him today.
And out of bounds as the Wizards gain possession. Let's take a look at the teams that have done a great job of converting turnovers into points since the All-Star break. The Wizards second.
And since the break, we've seen them ambush their opponents with that attacking brand of defense. And boy, have they reaped the rewards offensively.
Brown the pass to Wagner. That's his second shot and his second basket. He's 2 for 2.
Now, he's too good a finisher to blow that kind of chance, but that's going to be a wake-up call to the defense.
Brown the pass to Napier. The shot's good. Brown making the play. Napier's got the lead up to 8 now for the Wizards.
Yeah, the chemistry has been terrific. Really impressed with their offensive execution.
For 3, Bullock. And again, it's the Knicks missing. For Washington, they've gone 4 of 6 from the field here in the second. The pass to Bonga. Here's Wagner, guarded by Robinson. He gets that one. Wagner's got 6 points. If you were choosing a center for the team that you ran, you've got these options: Joel Embiid, Big Cat, or Jokic and Denver. Who do you go with?
There's so much variety in their games, Kevin. And I appreciate what Jokic does so much for that Denver Nuggets offense, initiating as a center from the top. But I'm going to have to go with Embiid and the way that he can dominate the game. There's still so much potential and growth for what it is that he can do. Down on the block, doing damage, taking away a lot of three-point shots. And not to disparage what it is that Karl Anthony Towns can do, but his size and dominance, I think there's an intimidation factor that Joel Embiid brings to the game that I would lean on over the other two.
And so it looks like Washington will retain possession here.
And a moment here to look at the numbers for Payton. He's around 10 points per game, 7 assists and 4 rebounds. And a quality player. I love what he brings to the table at that backup point guard position.
I think coaches appreciate a guy that comes in and knows how to run the offense with some intelligence. That's exactly what he does.
5 on the clock. It's good on the putback. And the Wizards lead by 10.
That makes it 10 of their last 12 coming from inside the paint.
Takes the 3. Offensive rebound. Harkless the pass to Knox. Gets to the corner and buries it.
Like it when you fire it to a teammate who's ready to shoot, and Kevin Knox was.
Here's Wagner, defended by Harkless. Bonga the pass to Wagner. Goes back up. Shooting foul as the whistle blows. He'll shoot 2 free throws.
Really the right play defensively. If you can't block, force him to the line.
So for the Wizards, Hachimura, he's checked in for Mo Wagner. Robinson comes in for Brown. And Smith subbed in for Napier. The Knicks also changing it up. Portis, he's checked in for Maurice Harkless. And Frank Ntilikina's subbed in for Elfrid Payton.
Hurting you now from there as Ntilikina's finding his range on those shots.
Smith the pass to Hachimura. Shoots over Portis. And foul on the shot. He'll shoot 2 at the free throw line. And out of Japan, a real interesting prospect. Hachimura, especially now that he can stretch the floor.
Yeah, he found the 3-ball in his last year of college. Hit over 40%. You combine that with the size, the motor. He is really versatile. And I feel like he's putting it all together.
Washington leading now by 9. And that'll be 2 free throws coming up. Officials on the call with the foul. It's on Bobby Portis.
And when Hachimura is looking to score, it sometimes forces the D to get aggressive. Love the energy. Well, the Knicks had a lot of turnover trading for expiring contracts. They did what they could to accommodate the wishes of a lot of vets.
Yeah, the problem right now for the Knicks is they're not inviting to a lot of free agents, and that's really where they're trying to make their play. So fascinating over the course of the past decade that New York has not been able to attract the top-tier talent. So building through the draft, Coach Fizdale hopeful that they'll land a star one way or another.
For 3, Smith. Kept alive by Washington. And Bryant gets it to go.
When you're trying to claw your way back into a game, you cannot allow second chance opportunities.
Yeah, those are tough. You get back into the game by working harder than the other team, not the other way around. They're just going to extend this lead.
And so that brings the first.
The 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hey, welcome back to a pretty close game for the Wizards throughout the first quarter. The biggest lead they were able to get out to during the first period was 6 points.
And after a very lopsided first half, we'll see if things play out a little more evenly here in the second. Thomas Bryant really making a difference here.
Yeah, it's been a great performance from him, really staying focused on quality shots.
Yeah, this is showing that they're not going to play at anybody else's pace but their own.
Tipping off the second half, here's David Fizdale's 5. They've got Taj Gibson. Peyton is out there with Barrett. Then there's Mo Harkless, and it's Randall in at the power forward position.
Randall getting up there, explosive vertically on that play with great timing.
Pass to Bryant. Brown, and it's Brown on the follow. Brown's got his second basket of the game.
Just a solid performance on the interior. The rebounding has been off the charts.
Barrett, no good. And so Bryant will bring it up for Washington. The 12-point lead, their biggest of the game. And the basket by Napier.
They're doing a really good job of getting the ball inside and attacking the paint. That's an area they have completely dominated.
Passes it to Barrett. It's intercepted. It's Brown with the drive. And the call on the shot that sends him to the line.
Oh, the officials are all over that one.
This is his first free throw of the game.
And so far this season, shooting at a 75% clip from the line.
And free throw good from Brown. Well, we hear this all the time. Good defense beats good offense. Do you think that's true?
I don't know how defense scores. So in today's game, seeing the juggernauts and seeing what we've seen, Kevin, quite frankly, as some of the best offensive teams, not only in the last 5 years, but in the history of the league, around the Houston Rockets and what the Golden State Warriors have been able to do. It's about equipping your team defensively to be able to stop that stylistically. But certainly every coach will say it comes down to defense because that is something you can control.
Bonga, the Wizards with another miss. Knicks trail by 14. Randall kicks to Barrett. Throws it up high. Robinson misses.
And what should have been a simple pass and finish ends up in a missed opportunity on that alley-oop attempt.
Yeah, you'd like to keep things a little more simple, and that was a play that didn't quite develop the way they wanted it.
Here's Randall, and Randall throws it down.
You wonder if the coaching staff is encouraging these kind of nights and aggressive play from Randall to take over.
Here's Napier. Misses off the left iron. For New York, they've gone 3 of 6 in the third quarter, 50% from the field. Peyton passes to Barrett. No good there, and that would have cut it to single digits.
Oh, man, still a goose egg for him in the scoring column.
And that one's good. Hachimura.
You have to push Hachimura out of there if you're the defense. He's a real problem on the interior.
Back to Harkless. New York moving it around. Here's Randall. Basket is good. He'll get a chance. And here we go. Coach's challenge happening right now. This one in regards to the personal foul. Seeing if that was the right call.
And I think when it comes to some of the more difficult calls to make, personal fouls can be tough. The action is so fast that it's really tough to catch everything in real time.
The wonders of technology, Greg. We've seen replay reviews so effectively and involving the coaches by being able to. A challenge like this is something a lot of people have been hoping for. And so the word is in. They've decided that the call stands as it was made on the floor.
And, you know, even if a coach still feels this wasn't the right call, you got to acknowledge the effort being put in to reviewing it. The double checking, and the game continues on.
The offensive rebound, and that one drops for him. Hachimura's got 4 points this quarter.
And the scary thing is, Hachimura is going to keep getting better. Games like this prove how special he can be.
Even though they're still trailing, he continues to be lights out from the field. What a competitor.
Well, the big story from the Knicks last season was the surprise trade that sent Porzingis to Dallas. Shook up the entire roster.
Well, never easy to trade a franchise player, but there was some rumblings that maybe Porzingis was not going to stay there long term. And a surprise deal made last year as Porzingis exited New York for Dallas. So the next opportunity for them was draft and free agency and to try to get as flexible as they possibly could be for the next few years.
And the instincts there from Hachimura. Notice the overcommitment by the defense and then makes the right pass.
1:02 left to play in the third. Knicks trail by 16. No one near Randall as he lets it go. New York, no good that time either.
Well, he wants that one over again, I guarantee that. Nobody's even in the neighborhood.
Here's Hachimura. The shot's good. Brown making the play. Hachimura's got 15.
He's got a lot to do with the position that they're in. A very smart offensive performance tonight from him. This feels like it's snowballed a little bit on them. The more he tries to shoot his way out of this slump, the worse it seems to get. They need him to get it together.
And that bucket adds to what has been a big difference in points in the paint between the two teams. He missed that one, but I've seen him drill shots from that distance in warm-up.
Oh, no, I know he can make it, but that's warm-up, so maybe just a step too far.
It's been their Achilles heel defensively. They just have not been able to control that backboard.
Knox misses.
All the energy is on the other side right now, and every miss just makes it worse.
Well, the other team is scorching hot, and they come down on this end and can't find a way to get the embers going.
And so it's the Washington Wizards holding a very comfortable 25-point lead as the quarter comes to. Now let's take a look at our assist of the game presented by State Farm.
And the definition of teamwork right there, guys. I mean, what great communication between them, and what a beautiful feed.
Well, coaches talk about it all the time, but to be able to play with that kind of feel, nice play, collaborating, improvising, and organic.
And there have been two very different performances from these teams today as we get going in quarter number 4. Okay, now let's reset our lineups courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go for this fourth quarter. So on the floor for Washington, we've got Ish Smith. Utah is out there with Pasekniks. Then there's Grant, and it's Schofield in at the 3 slot for the Knicks. Mitchell Robinson's checked in for Damian Dotson. Barrett comes in for Frank Ntilikina, and it's Elfrid Payton in for Dennis Smith. Here's Bunga, laid in with a nice touch off the glass.
Again and again, they're dissecting the defense and creating those high percentage looks from inside.
Here's Knox. Rebound by Mahimi. Mahimi's got rebound number 5 here tonight.
Yeah, and they've shown effort and aggression in the paint, really right from the tip. Their rebounding edge right now, massive.
And it's in there.
And that's a lesson for the D. Fight harder on the glass.
Yeah, you just can't afford to give up second chance opportunities again and again.
The Wizards have gone 2 of 4 from the field since we started the final quarter of play. Bunga, no good. New York's gone 1 of 3 from outside the arc since we've reached the fourth quarter. Barrett, wide open, he fires. New York, no good that time either. This could get even more out of hand if they continue to put up points.
Wow, Kevin, what a performance we are seeing.
2 teammates connecting right there. Slick feed.
On its way from Gibson for 2. That's in, coming off an assist from Payton. Payton's got 5 assists in the game. Pass to Mahimi, stolen by Robinson. And now the Knicks on the break. Wide open look. They get it back.
Gibson using his body on the boards. He's great at using his timing to leap up and collect a second chance.
All alone. And the shot is long.
Teammates right now covering up for the type of off performance he's having. In terms of scoring, this has not been his best night.
The pass to Mahimi, stolen by Robinson. It's stolen by Mahimi. Smith outside. And the layup's good off the glass. Smith's got 4 points now in the quarter.
Well, we've seen that movie a few times, haven't we? An easy bucket in the paint.
Here's Payton. And it's Gibson finishing it off.
Got to keep Taj out of the post. How many of those have we seen?
Here's Bryant, not wasting any time and taking the shot and knocking it down.
And yeah, he's not messing around. He wants no part of a comeback in this one.
Well, he's grabbed the tee and a blanket because he's putting this one to bed.
Shot's good by Gibson.
Tough to throw Gibson off. When he's looking to score, he powers through whatever defense is there and gets it done.
Yep, that one goes.
And Matador defense, that's one of the easiest shots he is ever going to see.
Yeah, feels like Christmas right now, just gift wrapping points.
Robinson kicks to Payton. 20 feet out. And the basket by Knox.
Well, you risk getting torched when somebody's open. Payton's skilled enough to find the open man.
And Kevin Knox gets the whistle that time. That's his first foul. Brent, a few players now host podcasts, participate with those elements, with those vehicles during the season. Any thoughts on that?
I think it's great. I think it's fantastic for our fan base and for our players to have an outlet, to have conversations and share a little bit more about their personality. It grows them as people, I think, Kevin, especially I've listened to J.J. Redick's many times over,
Yes.
and you learn something new, not only about players, but about their interests and how they're spending time. And I think if you were a young player, let's say you were a high school senior and you're a college player and you're listening to some of the things that guys are talking about in their experiences, I think it's invaluable for what it is that you don't know exists around a player in the NBA, and for you to start having considerations about how difficult the task is, how mentally taxing. So these things are great outlets for the players.
And it's Smith missing.
The defense as tough as it comes right there. He's a hard man to deny when he gets the ball to the rim.
Yes, and with this one winding down, it's obvious to everyone who watched it. Just a total mismatch and a true show of strength for the Wizards.
You don't see this kind of a blowout often, but tonight this is a quality win across the board to deliver out this kind of punishment.
They definitely never changed the approach. They just kept after it and showed they were clearly the better team in just about every single category.
And guys, at this point in the long NBA season, this will go down as win number 25. Portis, the pass to Gibson. Grant surveying the D. Wizards passing it around. Back to Brown. He dishes it to Grant. Pass to Schofield. Down to 5 on the shot clock. This one for 3. Knicks with the rebound. 32 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Harkless with the bucket.
This can make it so much easier for your teammate when you throw that lead pass that gets to him right on the money, whether that's on the run or in the shooting pocket.
Brown the pass to Schofield. For the 3. Rebound by Smith. Here's Dotson. He's covered by Brown. The shot by Harkless, no good. And so it's Washington easily grabbing this one. This game may not have been the most exciting we've ever seen.
body fluid and goaltend. Unprecedented improvements to shooting, puck pickups, upper and lower body fluidity, and goaltending.
Was when there was something like that behind the back, everybody was spamming it. When that was nerfed, it's like now there's really nothing to use. I prefer if there was more effective animations than no effective animations, if that makes sense. But Mike hit on the point a little bit earlier, is it's a video game. And I know the balance can be kind of difficult sometimes because it's a simulation game, you want it to be like real life. But when I am playing video games, I'm playing it.
And a look here at the scoring trend over the last several months for him.
And it's really been a nice trend for him over these last several months. He's been steadily improving in terms of his scoring output. That extra production making him more valuable the further we get along in this season.
And now the opening lineup for Detroit. On the wings, Kennard and Snell. Griffin is out there with Wood, and it's Rose in at the point. And for the Knicks, Elfrid Payton is out there with Barrett. Then it's Randall. Then it's Taj Gibson. And it's Harkless in at small forward. Smitty, we know these two teams struggling right now, but just generally, what do teams do to get out of a slump?
You know, what I think they do is you have a lot of communication amongst each other. You just keep playing hard, usually playing hard, being competitive. When you get a couple wins, you need a couple wins, and then I think it can change around.
Good work there as it goes.
And once he got to the 10, I think he was surprised to find himself that wide open.
Wow, that's a defensive breakdown. Can't do that against good scores.
It's blocked. They retain possession. No good from Gibson. Kennard, the pass to Griffin. Great pass to set up the lay-in.
Look, this is how you draw it up coming out of the locker room. 3 of 3 so far.
For New York, they've gone just 1 of 4 to get this game started. Here's Harkless. It's good from long range.
When he's hitting that shot, this offense becomes scary, even more difficult to defend.
Keeps the defense guessing. They don't know who to try to take away.
Shooting foul as the whistle blows. He'll shoot 2 free throws.
People wonder how happy Blake Griffin would be after being traded from L.A. to Detroit a few years back. He has completely embraced the city, and Motown loves him back as well, quickly becoming a fan favorite.
Now here's Payton. He just could not put it together in that loss to Atlanta. Out of bounds, Detroit takes possession. For Detroit, they've gotten their first 3 shots to go in for him to start off this game. And with Griffin, he's also embraced Detroit's situation, trying to build a contender.
Griffin said he feels like he's a part of building something special here in Detroit. You have to admire how quickly Blake has gone all in for the Pistons franchise.
And you know we talk about it all the time, guys. Those second chance buckets, always the result of that extra effort.
Here's Barrett, and it's blocked, but they'll get another chance. The Pistons have gotten 4 of 6 field goal attempts to drop in the first quarter, and now they decide to foul intentionally.
Really no idea why you're fouling in a situation like that. You know, maybe there's some bad blood between those two.
Robinson's checked in for New York.
And I was sure that was money on that one, but everyone is afforded an easy miss or 2.
Yes, let's look on the bright side. You got a great look. It's a play that you might want to go back to again.
Rose surveying the D. Detroit, no good that time either.
It's been a rough quarter for him. Can't seem to find any kind of rhythm.
Payton dishes to Barrett. Let's go. A second chance effort, and Robinson with the layup. And it's a tie ball game.
That's just staying in the moment, keeping with the current possession.
To the inside, Wood, and he takes that one up and powers it through.
Great court awareness by Derrick Rose, reading every inch of the floor so well.
Well, one area that has slowed the Pistons the last decade is their player development.
Yeah, you look at their roster, very few homegrown players. The Pistons haven't had a lot of hits with their first-round picks. To be a top team, you need to have a front office that can build from within. If you allow Blake Griffin to get that close, the result, a dunk.
Harkless with the bucket. And so Griffin will bring it up for Detroit, coming off that loss against Philadelphia. From 18 feet away, The putback, great positioning on the putback.
Wow, unconscious has he been this quarter. They're riding that hot hand.
The shot by Payton, no good.
And he's frustrated. That's a shot he can make in his sleep.
Wasted no time on that one. 12 points for Blake Griffin.
Man, he has been locked in this quarter, shouldering the load at the offensive end.
Rare you'll see him miss such an open look.
Three-pointer. They grabbed their own miss.
And that's a pure hustle play, getting to the offensive glass for the tip-in.
And that's the kind of quality you see in any strong offensive rebounder, isn't it? Randall with the bucket.
So dangerous in the paint. Randall with a good mix of power, skills, and balance.
Rose finds Griffin. Right side Rose. Goes up from the top of the key and misses it off the right side of the rim.
And when you can't get anything to fall, it definitely gets in your head.
His rhythm, it's been way off. The goal now might be to get him something easy at the rim so he can just see the ball go in through the net, and that helps.
To the paint, here's Wood. Crafty move. Randall grabs the board. Here's Harkless. Blake Griffin getting it done for the Detroit Pistons. That quarter had to take a lot out of him. He racked up 12 points. Right back after this break. Welcome back to Noche Latina, celebrating the Latin culture and their love for the game of basketball. It just keeps growing. And guys, looking at what you've seen so far from the Pistons, what do you think?
Way to set the table. Offensively, they dominated on the interior.
They came in looking to attack from the get-go, willing to be physical and setting the tone.
On the court for the Pistons, Baker out there with Doumbouya. Then there's Brown, and it's Galloway in at the one. And keeping us updated from the sideline, let's swing it over to David Aldridge.
Well, Kevin, in Blake Griffin, the Pistons have their biggest star in years, probably going back to their championship team of 2004. A return to all-star form for Blake meant tremendous individual numbers last season. And the Pistons hadn't won a playoff game in more than a decade. Still not the result they want in 2019. The Pistons will be trying to capitalize during Blake's prime. Kevin, we'll see where this franchise goes from here.
He sure will, David, but he's a terrific player. Thank you so much. Score the basket, his second of 2 attempts.
Not a lot of flash to his game, but Galloway can surprise you with his first step.
Well, Langston Galloway, not the most efficient scorer, but he'll eat minutes for you.
Yeah, Galloway not a player you want taking a ton of shots overall, but he can hit from outside if you give him a look. That's really his best shot.
Detroit making a switch here. McRae's checked in. Smitty, you played with the U.S. national team. Would you say they allow more physicality in FIBA than they do in the NBA?
No, I think, Kevin, different parts of the game, there's more physicality, like on the free throw line, boxing out, like going up for rebounds. They let a lot more than we're used to go. But usually the NBA players adjust, and they find their way.
And a fast break now for New York. New York, no good that time either. Looking at the Knicks, they want to turn it around after the loss to Atlanta. Brown, good.
And they're beginning to just flat out fall apart defensively right now, especially on the interior.
Now the pass to Ellington. From deep three-point range. That one misses. Pistons leading by 9. Intercepted. And a fast break now for New York. Bullock, good.
Nothing went right on that offensive possession except the result.
The Pistons have gone 5 of 6 so far from the field in the second quarter. And a little under 2.5 minutes gone by here in the second quarter. Maker misses. New York's gone 0-3 from beyond the arc to start the second quarter. Portis drives in. Pass to Ellington. Uncovered. Uses the glass that time, and it's good. And now just a 5-point Piston lead.
Great look by Portis. For a young player, he really understands what they're trying to do.
Galloway, the pass to Maker. And the dunk by Maker.
Not the kind of aggressive defense they need to cut into the lead.
Yeah, you have to protect the rim, Greg, a little better.
Also, if you can't get stops at this point, it really doesn't matter what you do at the offensive end.
They get it back. Portis. And Maker sends it back.
Watching him protect the rim, you never guess Maker's averaging less than 1 block a game for his career.
Oh, taking it to the rack with power.
Hammering down the two-hand slam. And here's Brown. He'll bring it up for Detroit. They lead by their biggest margin of the game. 9. He had a nice open look right there.
A willing passer who's still learning. Maker keeps his eyes up and makes the unselfish play.
And he's a good shooter from outside, but not sure from that deep.
You know, we're seeing players move further and further back to create space, but that does make it a tougher shot.
Just a solid performance on the interior. The rebounding has been off the charts.
56 seconds left to play here in the second quarter. Here's McRae. Count the bucket, and he's got a free throw coming up as well.
They're finding lanes to the hoop now with consistency. 5 buckets in a row from the paint.
And a new group in for the Knicks. Taj Gibson's checked in for Portis. Mitchell Robinson comes in for Kevin Knox. It's checked in for Wayne Ellington. And it's Peyton in for Frank Ntilikina. Now here's Gibson. Makes it off the glass. Gibson's got his first basket.
And you see the passing instincts Barrett has. Great at recognition out on the floor.
And contact on the shot, so he'll be shooting free throws here. The Pistons have yet to miss from the free throw line. They're 3 for 3.
Well, probably a little draft in the arena tonight. He's the last guy you expect to miss the mark by that much.
Absolutely. Detroit making a switch here. Kennard's checked in. Bullock. Rebound, Detroit. Victory eluded them last time in New York when they took on the Knicks.
Yeah, and looking back at their last game against this club, they were badly out-rebounded.
From 15 feet away, a nice shot by Mikhailuk. Mikhailuk's got his second bucket of the night.
And that pick takes the D totally out of the equation.
Hey, if you're not going to fight over, you're essentially giving the shooter the look he wants.
And so it's the Detroit Pistons. Thank you, David, for that interview, and we'll see you back here after the break.
And now, the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hello, Beth. Some incredible work in this one by Blake Griffin. He had 12 points, 4 rebounds. And
And as we dive into the second half, we'll find out if the next 2 quarters are any different from the first 2. So far, it has been a runaway. You look at Blake Griffin in this game, he's been everywhere.
Yeah, it's been a great performance from him, really staying focused on quality shots.
And many of those quality shots have been jumpers, a very high percentage of those in the first half.
They've got Julius Randle. Barrett is out there with Elfrid Payton. Then there's Mo Harkless, and it's Gibson. And now, yep, this will be a coach's challenge. We thought that might happen, triggering a review of the personal foul.
And this is the time now where the officials can review in closer detail what constituted the original personal foul. Getting a different angle can sometimes make it a lot easier to determine.
Greg, indeed, and the one thing with replay review is that when you see the slow motion replays, you really get a new appreciation for just the immense speed at which these players are moving and how fast the action really is and how hard it can be sometimes, you know, Greg, to make the right call. And so the word is in. They've decided that the call stands as it was made on the floor.
And, you know, even if a coach still feels this wasn't the right call, you got to acknowledge the effort being put in to reviewing it. The double checking, and the game continues on.
No one near Payton as he lets it go. Rebound, Detroit.
They have been board dominant in this game. That's definitely been a factor in crafting this huge lead.
Now let's go to the sideline and catch up with our Hall of Famer, David Aldridge.
Well, Kevin, Dwayne Casey was the 2018 Coach of the Year, but as we all know, he was fired after that same season by the Raptors. Casey has found a home in Detroit. Casey said, "I have no regrets." Winston Churchill said, "Success consists of going from failure to failure without losing enthusiasm." And that's what I've done. So, Kevin, Dwayne Casey is still pounding the rock.
He sure is, and I like that Churchill quote as well. Thanks, David.
Ooh, they've come out ice cold to start this half. 3 misses and as many attempts.
Wants to get it to Randall and does. Throws down the alley-oop slam.
Well orchestrated. Randall was ready to receive the pass and flush it in one motion.
Here's Rose. And he gets the whistle. 2 free throws coming up. Taj Gibson picks one up. The Pistons shooting their 7th and 8th attempts at the foul line tonight. Both shots good from the stripe.
Explosiveness by Derrick Rose is one of the reasons why a lot of guys do not want to guard him.
Right side Gibson. And foul on the shot, so he'll get a chance at the line.
Wow, he got whacked on that one. Shouldn't be much debate there.
First trip to the free throw line for him in this one.
And on the season, only shooting around 73%, so not necessarily where he'd like to be.
I just love the way Gibson plays the game. Defensive-minded, willing to do whatever it takes. It's easy to see why his teammates respect him.
And Smitty, Blake Griffin stepping up his game in every way since joining the Detroit Pistons.
Kevin, last season was a career year in scoring, and he's doing so much on the floor. Rebounding and passing are a big part of his game now, and he's leading the way for this team in a lot of ways.
Rose kicks to Snell. And it's Rose penetrating, and they pick up 2. Rose has got 12 points in the game.
The defense is in trouble because off the pick and roll, he uses his speed, he can knock down the shot, and he has a floater.
Too long in the paint, and he's hit with a 3-second violation. The Knicks shooting their 5th attempt at the line in the game.
And the season numbers for them at the line thus far are really poor. Something I'm sure they are making a point of emphasis.
And the technical free throw is good. And a new group in for the Knicks. Portis, he's checked in for Gibson. Kevin Knox comes in for Maurice Harkless. Wayne Ellington's checked in for Barrett. And Frank Ntilikina's subbed in for Payton.
And this is why coaches talk about playing with pace. The scoreboard tells it all.
It's a winning approach when you execute. That's the key. They're playing fast, but also under control.
And here's Brown outside. Wood tipped back in for 2. Wood's got his 3rd bucket of the night.
They've shown some strength in the paint today. Their work on the boards has been impressive.
Mykhailiuk passes to Wood. Mykhailiuk can't get it to go. And so it's Randall bringing it up now for New York. When this game is done, they'll be off to Miami to take on the Heat. That'll be just 1 game played, a win from home for them. So for the Knicks, Robinson's checked in for Julius Randle, and it's Reggie Bullock in for Wayne Ellington. Doumbouya is checked in for the Pistons. Pass to Knox. Now Portis. The feed to Doumbouya. Chalk up 2 there.
And I think that play sort of sums up what we've seen tonight. Just simply being outplayed both sides of the ball. Smart basketball defensively, turning into easy points.
Ntilikina passes to Portis. Puts it up. Offensive rebound. Goes back up. And Henson sends it back. To the middle. Here's McRae. Nice pass. Nice catch and a resounding dunk.
Beautiful location on the pass as usual. Led his man perfectly.
Robinson down low. Defended by Henson. And too much time in the lane. They get called for the 3-second violation.
A chance to check out stats for Robinson. The past month has been surreal. Averaging about 11 points, 9 rebounds, and almost 2.5 blocks. And not many players possess his kind of ability to protect the rim. I mean, you look at the block total, pretty remarkable.
All shots he's changed just by challenging them. Such a luxury to have someone like this as your last line of defense.
Detroit's gone into a slump here from three-point range, shooting just 1 of 5 here in the third. Here's Doumbouya. McRae passes to Mikhailuk. Again, the miss by the Pistons.
Empty possession, and you don't want to miss these easy looks.
Here's Ntilikina. Gets the 14-footer to fall.
A welcome sign. Ntilikina has the form and touch. Needs to keep draining these mid-range jumpers.
Pass to McRae. Looking for Henson. He gets it there. Robinson with the block. They recover it. And so it's the Detroit Pistons with a massive lead of 30 points here at the end of the quarter. Their defense has been terrific in this game. We've got more NBA basketball coming your way in just a minute. While we have the chance now, folks, let's go to our State Farm assist of the game.
Yeah, a terrific, unselfish play right here. Set up his teammate, and how about the setup this was?
At his position, traditionally, his job is to shoot the basketball. Give him credit for keeping his eyes up and just taking what the defense allows.
And we reach the fourth quarter in a game that may be already out of hand. All fueled up and ready to go. Let's reset the lineups courtesy of Gatorade for the fourth quarter. On the floor for Detroit, we've got McRae. Maker out there with Doumbouya. Then it's John Henson, and it's Galloway in at the point.
How about the determination of Gibson? No one is going to stop him when he skies up.
Here's Galloway. Steve, the G League is now offering select contracts worth $125,000. They want to attract prospects straight out of high school. What do you think of that?
You know, I like it, Kevin, and I think I'd love to see that number go up and up, and I like the opportunity for some of those guys to be able to go straight out of high school. It's good for some, it's bad for others, but I think you have to give those guys that opportunity.
Stolen by Robinson. Lets it go. Johnson can't hit. The Pistons shooting about 59% from the floor. Offensively, they've been running without a hitch. And the basket by Maker.
And defensively, guys, they've been unable to shut down the middle.
Here's Smith. Lays it up off the glass. Smith's got 4 this quarter.
A physical player. Even when you hit Smith Jr., he doesn't blink. Wills those shots in.
Just over a minute and a half played here in the fourth. Doumbouya gets a wide open look. His three-pointers off the mark. For New York, they've gone 3 of 4 in field goal attempts since getting things started here in the fourth.
Shooting from New York, Damian Dotson. Taking 2 shots.
And he makes the first. So for the Knicks, Harkless comes in for Mitchell Robinson. And Ellington is subbed in for Kevin Knox. And the Pistons making a change here as well. Knight's checked in. I saw this the other day, Steve. The NBA now helping to create the Basketball Africa League. 12 teams from across that terrific continent. I think it's pretty exciting.
It is. This is an incredible story. Great for the sport and great for the people of Africa. Skying high, one of his advantages as an undersized forward.
And again, it's the Knicks missing.
And I'm sure next time he sits down, Coach is going to have a few choice words for him with that shot selection.
And you know what? He knows it. You have to try to play within the system or you're going to come away with empty possessions. Wow, another opportunity. Just everything going their way. Pretty much the story of this game.
It's good. That's 12 points for Thon Maker.
This is what you get from Maker, a legit 7-footer who brings the energy.
No good from Gibson. For Detroit, they've gone 4 of 7 from the field since the beginning of the fourth. Galloway taking his time here. And a lot of contact on that one, so he'll shoot 2 here.
Nice by Galloway, understands the situation, catches the defender a little out of position.
Well, we see these sponsorship patches on these uniforms now, Steve. This is the third and final year of the test run. I think it's here to stay. What do you think?
I do too. I think the numbers have also coincided that it's here to stay. I think also the revenue. I think people love it, and I think the sponsorship helps.
Portis kicks to Ellington. 4 on the shot clock. Uses the glass to finish the layup.
Really, really good at recognizing the gaps and getting the ball to the rim.
And here's Knight. He'll bring it up for the Detroit Pistons. The pass to McRae. Outside Knight. Passes it to McRae. Pistons passing it around. Detroit needs to get off a shot here. It's Knight with the drive, and they force the shot clock violation. Great team. And players now, Steve, more able to dictate where they want to play. How has free agency changed since you came into the NBA?
I think the signing of shorter contracts, Kevin, guys with player options. And then I think also for a lot of players, they're not taking as much money, leaving money on the table because the endorsement deals off the court is making up for some of their money on the court.
And as we head to the final buzzer here, a crushing blowout, big-time dominance, and this will go in the record books as a gaudy win for the Pistons.
As one-sided as it gets today, you know, there were some dominant moments in about every facet of this game for that team.
Yeah, I mean, Kevin, it's hard to think of what didn't go right for them. Game planning by the coaches, execution by the players, everything was just on target.
And I think a great job in positioning themselves for the W here. It's win number 21 on the season.
Taking no chances. They go on one last run to seal the deal.
Not messing around at all. They were focused, relentless, and they got the job done.
And with Thon Maker still a developing project, you forget, you know, Smitty, how young he really is.
You're right, Kevin. Has a lot of time ahead of him. You can see the touch and the length he has. Hopefully, he can keep working and put it all together.
Frank Ntilikina is checked in for Wayne Ellington. And the dunk by Maker.
They just blocked out the noise, kept on grinding, and this is their reward.
And guess what? It's going to be a fun flight home. Total team effort. Big win on the road.
6 seconds separating the shot and game clocks. Pass to Smith. Over to the left wing. Here's Ntilikina. Pass to Portis. And they turn over the 24-second buzzer, signaling the shot clock violation.
Mo Harkless.
6 seconds left to play here in the fourth.
Yeah, clearly a foul of frustration right there.
First personal foul.
He misses the free throw.
Jordan McRae at the line for 2.
Good on the second free throw. Here's Smith. And so Detroit takes this one by a big margin. A resounding victory for them. And Greg in enemy territory, no less. Thank you, David. Great interview once again. Well, folks, that's going to do it for now.
puck pickups, upper and lower body fluidity, and goaltending. Unprecedented improvements to shooting, puck pickups, upper and lower body fluidity, and goaltending.
Playing to have fun. Honestly, I like it when the game is more fast-paced. When the game is a little bit slowed down, it kind of just feels like, man, those aren't, they need to be NBA players. They're athletic.
No, I mean that's a good point to have, but you know, it's always about coming back to the fans. And Mike, now this is your chance to ask Agent a question, maybe about gameplay or 2K20 or 2K21. What's on your mind, Mike?
This idea of esports.
Coming up moments from now.
The 2K Sports pregame show.
Hello and thanks for joining us. Anoche. As we get a break in the action now, let's take a look at the East and how the teams are stacking up. Taking a look at Charlotte, they would be at the golf course if the playoffs happened today, looking to make a final push. And of course, there's the Knicks. They're looking to turn it around down at the bottom of the conference now.
And you know, for the Hornets, they've shown me some very good things this season. But that next step, those qualities that could make them true contenders, just haven't been there.
Yeah, and I'm sure they're disappointed in that. I mean, they were hoping to take that next step.
So let's take a look at the Charlotte starting lineup. We've got Bismack Biyombo, Washington out there with Bridges. Then there's Terry Rozier, and it's Graham in its shooting guard. And for New York, Taj Gibson is out there with Julius Randle. Then there's Mo Harkless. Then it's Barrett, and it's Payton in at the 1.
Just in a perfect position to grab that rebound and then get the putback.
Bridges passes to Washington. Randle grabs the board. New York comes into this one following a loss to the Hawks in Atlanta. Barrett, no good. And Greg, talking to scouts about R.J. Barrett, they love the athleticism. But what makes him especially good is the work ethic and the confidence.
Yeah, some elite prospects will take plays off. This guy never does. He's not one that sits around and reads his press clippings. He's a warrior, a leader, and he's proven to be a winner. Oh, great timing. He is one tough customer on that offensive glass.
You know, it's like he has a sixth sense of where that rebound is going.
Man, you don't see this fella blow many layups. Not against D like that, anyway.
No one near Rozier as he lets it fly. Off target from three-point range. The Knicks have gone 2 of 5 here, making 40% so far to start out the game. Here's Harkless, and the Knicks miss again.
You expect him to make those. They've got to do more to get a hand in his face next time.
It's stolen by Barrett. Floats it up for Randle. Hammers the alley-oop through.
That's a major league catch and flush right there. Randle's not a high flyer, but showing some explosiveness at the rim that time.
Graham kicks to Rozier. Shoots the 3. And it's Graham missing. Knicks have gone 3 of 7 from the field since we've gotten underway. Here's Barrett. Hornets with the rebound. Last time they met was in Charlotte.
And it says a lot about you that even when you're not at your best, they definitely were still in that game and able to win comfortably.
Just looking at the box score, you wouldn't think they did enough to pull it out, but all the intangibles, that's what won them the ball game tonight.
Now here's Payton. Boy, he just disappeared against Atlanta. They really needed it. Count that bucket.
And their post play has been really solid right off the bat.
Graham surveying the floor. From downtown, Randle grabs the board. The Knicks leading by 4.
Yeah, and the Hornets, they had a very strong bench, not only with their scoring, but how they impact rebounding and passing. I mean, one of the better benches in this league.
And first quarter, we're about 3.5 minutes in. Graham, the pass to Washington. He's now 1 for 2 with that bucket.
And once he got to the 10, I think he was surprised to find himself that wide open.
Yeah, very little resistance. I mean, you had to bring much faster help than that.
And it's Rozier missing. And the Hornets have had a strong bench for a while now.
Yeah, depth isn't a problem for this team, Kevin. Having a formidable starting 5, though, has been. They need to consider trading some depth for an upgrade at the starting position.
For the Knicks, Mitchell Robinson comes in for Taj Gibson. And it's Reggie Bullock in for Harkless. Charlotte also making some changes. Zeller comes in for Biyombo. And Bacon subbed in for Miles Bridges. Hornets trail by 4. Here's Bacon. Banked in off the glass. 56 seconds left to play in the first. Randle. That one wide left.
The shot's there for him, and he's got to take it. I don't care if he doesn't convert. That's a shot he has to continue to take.
Here's Washington trying to claw his way back after a terrible showing in that loss to Miami. For the Knicks, Portis is checked in for Randall. Kevin Knox comes in for Barrett. And Frank Ntilikina's subbed in for Payton. The Hornets also with the sub. Batum's checked in. Now, here's Portis. 20 points for him last game against the Hawks in Atlanta. New York, no good that time either. Charlotte's gone 0-4 from three-point land to start out. Looking cold from outside. Graham, the pass to Zeller. Here's Bacon. The dish to Graham. Passes to Bacon. Now Graham. The putback. He hangs in there and cashes in on the second chance points. And that makes it a tie ball game.
And the work ethic of Zeller. Now that's what makes him dangerous when scoping out opportunities on the offensive glass.
It's a tie game in New York. And back in a moment as we'll get underway with quarter number 2. And buenas noches, basketball fans. It's Latin night here on 2K Sports. And you might have noticed the custom jerseys worn by the players. And guys, what's your take on the Knicks so far?
Just a terrific first quarter, sparked really by their unselfishness.
Well, I love the ball movement so far, G.A. Everything clicking at the offensive end.
Bobby Portis out there with Robinson. Then there's Reggie Bullock, and it's Ntilikina in at the point guard position. They're the group New York will start the second with. Here's Graham, and the dunk by Graham.
Well, when Batum, Kevin, spots a wide-open teammate, he zips the rock to him quickly. Just exceptional vision.
Ntilikina passes to Bullock. Here's Ntilikina, defended by Batum. New York moving the ball around. Shot clock at 5. Back to Portis. From the baseline. And that's good for 2. Portis has got his first bucket of the night. Chris, this was a specialty of yours. Which current bigs are best at finishing contested shots right at the rim?
Oh, well, I'll tell you this. The best big in the league last year, averaging 17 points, scoring in the paint, Giannis Antetokounmpo. Yes. I mean, he'll dunk on anybody. Move out the way. He finishes. What about Embiid inside? What about Gobert? What about Boogie Cousins? Should I continue? I can keep going because the big man is back, baby.
Wayne Ellington's checked in for Reggie Bullock. And we've played just over a minute of basketball here in the second quarter. And Batum kicks to Graham. Launches it. Buries the long-range jumper. Graham's got the lead up to 3 now for the Hornets.
Well, that's almost a sure thing when you leave him that wide open on the perimeter. I mean, that's his sweet spot.
Pass to Ntilikina. Here's Knox. Here's Graham. And finished off by Graham.
That's a stomach punch, guys. Turn it over and give him a free run to the bucket.
Oh, you're so right. No question who has the momentum now.
Oh, exactly right. Momentum-shifting plays like that can change the tone of a game.
Here's Robinson. Tries again. Nice move. Oh, that's blocked.
Registering one of the highest verticals at the NBA Combine, Zeller can send your shot back.
Making the pass to Zeller. It's rebounded by Portis. So it's Ntilikina who brings up the ball for New York, trailing by 5. And for those of you just joining us, we're almost 2.5 minutes into the second quarter. Robinson passes to Portis. 5 to shoot. New York needs to get off a shot. Ellington, nice persistence to tip it back up and in.
Oh, how about the finesse there? Nice little gentle touch on the board.
And you know, when you have that gentle touch, those tip-ins are easy to come by. Making the pass to Washington. And foul on the shot. He'll shoot 2 at the free throw line.
Yeah, the defender all over.
This is his first free throw of the game. A different look for New York. Julius Randle's checked in for Robinson. Barrett comes in for Kevin Knox. And it's Elfrid Payton in for Frank Ntilikina. Portis, the pass to Barrett, doubled by Bridges. Inside. Good on that shot, and with that, the Hornet lead is cut down now to just 2 points with that basket from Payton.
And you see the passing instincts Barrett has. Great at recognition out on the floor.
The shot's good.
And after that ragged first quarter, they're getting some momentum, some confidence. Nice flow.
And you could see him give a little nod and then just burst to the rim for the alley-oop slam.
A pair of teammates, Greg, with a terrific feel for each other. And the basket by Rozier.
Oh, beautiful looking three ball from Rozier, really expanding his range.
Floats it up for Randall. And almost 4 minutes gone here in the second quarter of play.
You know we talk about it all the time, guys. Those second chance buckets, always the result of that extra effort.
An emphatic alley-oop jam.
And maybe that'll trigger them. Impossible not to get pumped up after that.
Yeah, well, you could see the immediate reaction of the guys on the bench. They are pumped up.
Oh, phenomenal alley-oop slam there.
They are taking advantage of a team that looks lost out there. In the corner, Barrett with it. 46 seconds left in the first half. Here's Randall. And again, it's New York.
Yeah, the chemistry has been terrific. Really impressed with their offensive execution.
A putback, and it's out of bounds. They say it was last touched by Randall. A different look for New York. Taj Gibson's checked in for Portis. Harkless comes in for Julius Randle. And it's Reggie Bullock in for Wayne Ellington. And a switch here also for Charlotte. Cody Zeller's checked in for Washington. Bridges misses. Just 2 seconds between shot clock and game clock. Knicks trail by 5. And here's Bullock from the arc. It's rebounded by Charlotte. Zeller's got his 4th rebound with that last one here tonight. And there's the foul on the shot. He'll go to the line for 2.
Just good at drawing fouls. Bridges plays well in traffic and through the contact.
The Hornets have converted 1 of 2 free throws so far today. That's also good. So he hits both free throws.
Yeah, nice job of drawing the contact and creating opportunities at the line.
To the right side. With 4 seconds on the clock. Count it.
I love seeing Barrett cash in there. And he knows he has what it takes to finish through contact.
So that'll be it for the first half. Fairly even battle underway in this one.
It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hey everybody, welcome to the first quarter for the Hornets was fairly even. Nothing seemed to give way on either side of the scoring column as they wrapped up the period all knotted up. The second quarter largely belonged to them as they took charge of the game and jumped out to a 5-point lead at the break. Kenny, let's get your take on Charlotte. And that...
And we're halfway through this one. Plenty of basketball left in a game that's been fairly even so far. We're seeing a tremendous game from Julius Randle.
You just love the patience in that first half. Waited until he got the look he wanted.
Yeah, working the ball, getting clean, quality looks. I mean, just efficient basketball through and through.
On the court for the Hornets, we've got Rozier. Bismack Biyombo is out there with Washington. Then it's Bridges, and it's Graham in at the 2-guard spot. Just 5 on the clock. From the wing. No good that time. Now the Knicks take it the other way. And now the Knicks on the break. Here's Randall. A rebound by Washington. Washington's got his 5th rebound right now in the game. Graham, and it's blocked. And it's out of bounds to the Hornets as Charlotte retains possession. Knicks on defense. It's a 5-point game.
But this is not the start they wanted coming out of the break. 0 for 3 so far. They're not playing with much intensity. I don't know what they drew up at halftime, but it ain't working. 0 for 4 to start the half.
Rozier against Payton. And if you're just joining us, we played over a minute here in the third. Harkless finds Payton to the left wing and stolen by Graham.
Now look, he was laying in wait for that pass. I mean, lured him into his trap.
Bridges, no one around him. And the Hornets miss again.
Oof, ugly start to the second half. They're still scoreless in their first 5 attempts.
Basket counts. Barrett's got the opening bucket to start the second half for New York. And Elfrid Payton with the foul. That's his first foul. So for the Knicks, Mitchell Robinson's checked in for Gibson. Kevin Knox comes in for Harkless. And Frank Ntilikina's subbed in for Payton. The Hornets also with a sub. Bacon's checked in. Here's Ntilikina. No points in the game yet for him. And the pass to Barrett. Outside Robinson. Shot on the wing. Barrett, no good.
And guys, not sure where his head was on that shot. Not what this offense was designed to create.
Come on, you can't be selfish. You got to be willing to make the next pass. Otherwise, you're just predictable.
Robinson passes to Ntilikina. And that's good. Robinson picking up the assist. Ntilikina's got his first points of the night. Charlotte leading by 3. Shot from 16. And it's Rozier missing.
They haven't needed him as much as I thought they would tonight.
And stolen by Graham. Here we go, all alone. Bacon's shot is off. The Knicks have gone 2 of 4 here to start the second half. And stolen by Graham. Here's Washington. And he banks in the layup. Washington's got his second basket of the night.
The assist is the key to that sequence. I mean, a great look to set him up.
Randall kicks to Ntilikina. New York moving it around. Here's Barrett. Offensive rebound. Here's Randall. The putback controls the rebound and puts it back up and in.
More good work on the glass there. When it's all said and done, I think rebounding might tell the story in this game.
Robinson with the block. Here's Ntilikina. Rozier defending. Good on the shot. And with that, the Charlotte lead is cut down to just 1 on the bucket from Ntilikina. In the third quarter with just over 3.5 minutes off the clock. Pass to Washington. Graham kicks to Rozier. Clock at 6. And that one is good. Rozier's got 4 points in the quarter.
That's the kind of aggressive and assertive play they need as we get closer and closer to crunch time. And defensively, they are on their heels every time the ball comes inside.
Good for another field goal. Number 5 in the night. 5 for 10 shooting.
He's really turned it around here in the second half. I mean, his offense has returned.
And with that, the Hornet lead is cut down to 1 in the bucket from Ntilikina.
That's their 3rd straight make off an assist.
To the wing on the left. 46 seconds left to play here in the third, and the basket is good. Graham's got 9 points.
Oh, that's not the kind of interior defense you want. Way too slow to protect the rim.
Randall dishes to Robinson. Back to Randall. A different look for New York. Bobby Portis is checked in for Randall. Reggie Bullock comes in for Barrett. And Ellington is subbed in for Ntilikina. And the Hornets making a change here. And it's going to be out of bounds. The Knicks will retain possession.
Great instincts from him to get a hand on that pass and tip it out.
They're just trying to prevent the opposition from getting comfortable. Next time, that one might get picked.
Catching up on the changes for New York. Taj Gibson's checked in for Robinson, and it's Payton in for Kevin Knox. Bridges is checked in for the Hornets. Shot by Zeller, no good. Knicks trail by 3. There's the lob to Portis. Takes the alley-oop pass and dunks it down.
Know what shots he should be taking. That's what he does, Portis. I mean, he's a very smart player on this end of the floor.
Rozier, the pass to Bacon. It's still anybody's game as we've reached the end of 3. Hornets lead by 1. And after a quick break, we're going to come right back. And let's take now this moment to bring up our State Farm assist of the game.
Yeah, an easy choice tonight. Look at the precision on this pass. Put it on a platter for him.
Yeah, he put it on the platter and it was served cold. Now, I love the poise, the decisiveness. This is how you run an offense.
We've reached the fourth quarter, and what has been a very competitive game should be an exciting finish. Reggie Bullock is out there with Bobby Portis. And it's Taj Gibson. Then there's Elfrid Payton, and it's Ellington in at the 2 guard. That's the 5 for New York right now. Charlotte in the lead, and there's the foul. Goes on Taj Gibson. That is his first foul of the game. Harkless is checked in for Wayne Ellington. To the inside, Zeller. That's good, and it's Rozier with the assist.
He has great body control for a big man. Zeller takes the hit, but keeps on finishing.
Good.
Just impressed with the teamwork out there, setting the table for one another.
So Rozier will bring it up for the Hornets. And he makes the bucket, gets the whistle, and now a 3. And here we go with the coach's challenge. Not surprised in a competitive game like this. And he's disputing the personal foul call.
And I think when it comes to some of the more difficult calls to make, personal fouls can be tough. The action is so fast that it's really tough to catch everything in real time.
The wonders of technology, Greg. We've seen replay reviews so effectively, and involving the coaches by being able to have a challenge like this is something a lot of people have been hoping for. And so the word is in. They've decided that the call stands as it was made on the floor.
And, you know, even if a coach still feels this wasn't the right call, you got to acknowledge the effort being put in to reviewing it. With double checking, and the game continues on.
Okay, well, let's check in with David Aldridge, who's reporting from the sidelines.
Well, during that last break, Kevin, I got a chance to hear what David Fizdale said to the team. This is a close game, as you know, and he sounded extremely confident. He told the players, don't let up now, fellas. This is when we make our move, right now. Kevin?
And there's the foul. It goes on Taj Gibson. That's foul number 2 for him. Charlotte leading by 3. And here is Monk. And he finishes nicely on the layup.
And one of the more underrated elements of his game. This is a guy that's always in control. Love seeing him finish even with the contact.
The shot by Payton, no good. The Hornets have gotten all 3 of their shots to drop here in the fourth quarter. They came out of the break on a roll. He gets it in there. And now a 7-point Hornets lead.
And that's 10 straight points in the paint. The defense, nowhere to be found.
Fouled on the shot and picks up 2 points. So 1 free throw coming up. So Payton will go to the free throw line. That one on Monk.
And the 6'4", 185-pound Payton certainly has a unique skill set. Also wants to keep improving as a leader.
Second minute off the clock now in the fourth. Back to Monk. Just 5 to shoot. Baseline try. Zeller. He hangs in there and cashes in on the second chance points.
I don't know what's happening defensively, but they're not putting up any resistance.
Portis, the pass to Harkless. Looking for Gibson, he gets it there. Hands the shot with nobody near him. Hornets leading by 4. Passes it to Monk. Goes up to the stripe. That one drops for him. Monk's got 4 points in the quarter.
And you see the improvement in that mid-range game by Monk. He really wants to be a knockdown threat from all 3 levels on the floor.
For 3, Bullock. Zeller grabs the board. Zeller's got his 7th rebound here tonight. Here's Batum.
Well, so far, if you look at the totality, Batum has put together a very impressive career. He's had a great stroke from outside in addition to his outstanding defense.
A different look for New York. Julius Randle's checked in for Portis, and Barrett subbed in for Reggie Bullock. Knicks trail by 8. Barrett with the ball. Randle right side. And there's the feed to Gibson, and stolen by Zeller. We've got 1:48 left in the fourth quarter of this one. New York's gotten off to an 0 for 2 start from downtown here in the fourth quarter. And there's the foul. It's on Nicholas Batum. That is his first foul of the game. Terry Rozier's checked in for the Hornets. Pass to Barrett. Harkless on the wing. Defended by Bridges. 2 free throws coming up, and they call the shooting foul. Good on the first, and that narrows the gap to 7.
At the line for your Knicks, Mo.
And he is unable to get the second one.
They'll take it, even with the miss. Anything they can do to cut into the lead.
Rozier for 3. Drains it from beyond the arc. Rozier's got the lead up to 10 now for Charlotte.
The man has no heart, and that's poor defense for a team that has a long way to catch up.
Yeah, D-like, that isn't going to get you back in the game. You have to stay connected to these shooters.
And these are the types of games where one team clearly has the edge. Tonight, it will be a win by a large margin for the Hornets.
Their superior ball handling, 1 of 4.
And fewer turnovers equals greater scoring opportunities. Any coach will tell you that. If you take care of the ball every possession, and this is a perfect example of what happens when you do.
And you can mark this one down in the W column. It'll mark their 23rd of the season. Graham kicks to Bridges. 4 on the clock. He drops the first one, and that'll push the lead to double digits.
I tell you, Bridges, you see the athleticism, the improving skill set, and the instincts are coming along.
And a whole new group out on the floor right now for the Knicks. No one near Smith as he lets it go. No good with the triple. And that's out of bounds. Charlotte will retain possession. 29 seconds left in the 4th quarter. Outside, Martin. Latrey bangs home the trifecta.
And they came in determined to take this one. It's going to be a happy flight home.
Yeah, there's no doubt as to who was the better team. I mean, they proved it with this win.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. The solo alley-oop? That's not something we see too often.
Timed perfectly. Caught the defense totally off guard. Ellington kicks to Smith. Robinson left side. Over Hernangomez. Misses there. So no problem for Charlotte as they get the win. To come into an opponent's building and dominate the way they did tonight says, I think, Greg, an awful lot about this team.
I guess they don't need home cook.
puck pickups, upper and lower body fluidity, and goaltending. Unprecedented improvements to shooting, puck pickups, upper and lower body fluidity, and goaltending.
This idea of esports, I know a lot of people complain about dice rolls and missing full whites. Like, do you think that's something we need to go like to the extreme with? What I'm scared of, I guess, is like we make Team Pro-Am or something, make it so that if you don't get a perfect release, you'll miss every single time. Like, is that an experience you think people will want?
I just divide it up. I mean, that's what a lot of games do. So it's like, you know how when you
The tallest building in the United States. What? And here's a look at some numbers for him.
And he's been very active with his hands. How about the steal numbers this month? He's been really hounding on the defensive side.
And now Washington's starting group. Hachimura and Bryant are in the middle. Shabazz Napier out there with Brown. And it's Bonga in at the 3. And for the Knicks, we've got Mo Harkless. Barrett is out there with Payton. Then it's Randall. And it's Gibson in at the center position.
For Washington, D.C. basketball, they have one title to their name, the champs back in '78.
What a run that was for that team led by the great Wes Unseld. But boy, in the 40 years since that title, my goodness, fans of this franchise have waited so patiently for that return to greatness. When will it come?
Passes it to Bonga. Down low. And no good that time. Randall with some nice D. In the corner, Gibson with it. Lots of room. They get it again.
Well, you simply have to shake that one off, right? You can't let that kind of missed opportunity bother you.
Bonga gets the bucket.
And the instincts there from Hachimura. Notice the overcommitment by the defense and then makes the right pass.
Grant is checked in for Washington. Here's Randall trying to get open as Gibson. Randall with the bucket.
And this is the attack mindset you want to see coming into the game.
Get it to the right guy, get a high percentage look, and that's the kind of game they want to play tonight.
Well, hard to find a team more iconic in the NBA than the New York Knicks. They are a premier brand.
Greg, this is absolutely true. This is an organization that has played a few games in London that have helped them, and it hasn't seemed to matter that the team has struggled for an extended period of time. They remain a major media presence in a major market. The NBA is better when the New York Knicks are a factor.
Showing improvement in that aspect of his game. Barrett wants to get better firing off the catch.
Pass to Bonga. Here's Hachimura. Wizards passing it around. 7-foot shot. Randall grabs the board. Knicks have gone 3 of 5 shooting the ball so far. Harkless on the wing. He's averaging around 5.5 points a game. Barrett with the ball. Brown on him. And it's Gibson that time on the assist from Barrett. Gibson's got his second basket of the night.
Well, this is a real strength of Taj Gibson's game. Efficient low-post scoring. That's nicely done.
The Wizards with another miss. The Knicks leading by 3. Guys, we've seen some excellent offensive output.
Yeah, great momentum for them offensively.
Of course, you've covered so many great basketball players over your many years in this business. As a player, coach, and now broadcaster, who has been your favorite athlete to watch or cover or report on?
All right, Kevin, you know I can't possibly name one, so I'm going to just throw several names out there. LeBron James has overcome so many challenges as a young person even before his NBA career. So his story is absolutely incredible and inspirational. How about Kevin Durant, one of the greatest scorers in the history of the NBA? Or Damian Lillard, who has proven so loyal to his fan base and organization and is one bad man when a game is on the line in the playoffs.
Hard work and soft hands, guys. That's what made that play possible.
No simple offensive rebound there. Going for the tip-in.
And really, it's been a major aspect of their offense in the early stages here. Their success working the ball inside and getting points from close range.
Now, here's Grant. Still getting warmed up offensively. No scoring yet from him.
And proving to be effective around the rim. Hachimura leaving no doubt about that one.
Here's Barrett. It's a 3-point game. Ball stolen. Brown with it. Now Payton defending. Brown, good.
And that's right where they wanted to go with the ball in rhythm.
The Knicks have gone 6 of 8 in the game so far. A very solid start for them. Pass to Barrett. To the middle. Payton against Grant. No good from Payton. And Elfrid Payton with the foul. That's his first foul. A different look for New York. Kevin Knox is checked in for Portis. Ellington comes in for Barrett. And Frank Ntilikina's subbed in for Payton. Smith the pass to Robinson. Smith with it. He's a good contributor to his team, averaging about 10.5 points a game. And yet we thought we might see it. And the coach's challenge has been triggered on the personal foul call.
And I think when it comes to some of the more difficult calls to make, personal fouls can be tough. The action is so fast that it's really tough to catch everything in real time.
The wonders of technology, Greg. We've seen replay reviews so effectively, and involving the coaches by being able now to challenge like this is something a lot of people have been hoping for. And the announcement on the review is that the foul was called in error. So they have determined, Greg, to overrule the original call.
And guys, this is what it's all about, getting the call right. And I think in this case, the video review showed that while it was a tough call to make on the floor, they got it right with the review.
It's so obvious Ntilikina is a pass-first point guard. This guy is an exceptional passer with very good vision.
Napier, Robinson with the block. And a good game so far as we conclude the first quarter. New York ahead, up 1. Welcome back, everyone, to the second quarter of play here on Noche Latina. Vamanos. And looking at what we've seen from the Knicks so far, what do you guys think?
Impressive start. They came in with a well-conceived game plan and have executed.
What terrific work at the offensive end. They have built some early momentum here.
Reggie Bullock is out there with Knox. Then it's Mitchell Robinson. Then there's Wayne Ellington. And it's Ntilikina in at the 1 spot. So that's who's on the floor for the Knicks. Here's Mahinmi. And the rebound goes to the Knicks. Wizards beat them last time when these two teams met in Washington.
Yeah, and their last time out against this club, turnovers really did them in. Just way too many mistakes.
They were forced into tons of sloppy play, and I think they'll be looking to be more composed tonight. And Kevin Knox, yet another player out of the University of Kentucky. We've seen so many enter the NBA from that program. What they love about Kevin Knox is his ability to score at all 3 levels.
And we're starting the second quarter, about a minute gone. Here is Mahinmi. He's been quiet so far, still no points in the game. And good that time. And with Knox, the Knicks kept feeding him minutes, Doris, allowing him to learn on the fly.
Yes, because of the circumstance with his team, he got a lot of the offense running through him as the season progressed. And for Kevin Knox, he had ample room to grow and make mistakes, and that's critical to his development.
And it's good for 2.
And they are attacking the rim and getting great results.
The Knicks with the lead. On the wing, Ellington, guarded by Mahinmi. And it's Bullock missing. Wizards have gone 2 of 5 from the field here in the second quarter, shooting 40%. Robinson passes to Knox. Second shot opportunity. Robinson misses.
Never easy to stop this guy at the rim, but that is a beautiful contest right there.
And Robinson throws it down.
Just focusing on the task at hand, that's all you can do.
Boy, the tide is running one way and then shifts back in the other direction. I've lost count of how many lead changes we've had here tonight.
While we have a break, we can see which teams have made the most of their second chance opportunities over the last 10 games. Number 1, the Knicks.
Really something to see. Their effort on the offensive glass has just led to so many second chance opportunities.
And it's Smith missing. For the New York Knicks, they come in off the loss to Atlanta. To the paint. And the basket by Knox.
What you love about Kevin Knox is that size and frame because it allows him to get easy opportunities on the inside.
This tug-of-war game continues.
And guys, that's lucky number 7 already in this game.
Here's Robinson. Whistle blows. Bucket is good. And he'll have a chance at the line to make it a three-point play.
And they keep hammering away at him inside, forcing the ball into the paint.
And a new group in for the Knicks. Bobby Portis is checked in for Knox. Harkless comes in for Reggie Bullock. And it's checked in for Wayne Ellington. And it's Elfrid Payton in for Ntilikina. Here's Brown. And 2 free throws coming up. Unable to get that one to go with all the contact. Of course, you've seen a lot of these big men come and go in this league. Who would you say right now is the most complete big man in the NBA?
Well, 2 guys come to my mind immediately, and that's Joel Embiid, who I think probably could be more efficient with his three-point shooting, but is still enough of a threat that you have to guard him out there. They enter the ball through him in the post, and he can be a dominant scorer. He can also put it on the deck. And then Anthony Davis, who you could say all of those attributes that Joel Embiid has, the Brow has as well. Those are 2 of the most complete, dominant, two-way big men in today's game.
Back to Bryant. The Wizards working the ball around now. The putback. It's good on the putback. Bryant's got the lead up to 3 now for the Wizards.
Oh, big time putback there. What a great motor on this guy.
There is no one who goes after those rebounds harder.
Well, he showed right there. This guy capable of making shots, especially if you leave him that wide open.
Here's Bunga, and there's the slam dunk to finish it off.
Those plays can make a difference in a game like this.
Well, you know it's going to fire up, Greg, everybody on that bench.
Well, credit him for going for it, not settling, saying, I'm going to attack.
Bryant passes to Napier, and that one clearly a foul. Gets the whistle, and 2 shots coming up. It's on R.J. Barrett.
Yeah, way to play in attack mode and get to the line.
The Wizards have hit all 4 of their chances so far in this one. And both free throws good for Napier.
As we've gotten closer to halftime, their style has become more and more physical.
Back to Payton. 3-pointer. It's hauled in by Brown. They can go 2 for 1.
It's about being smart right now.
36 seconds left in the first half of basketball. Tips it up. Great positioning on the putback. Bryant's got 6.
You know, his positioning near the hoop, always to his advantage. Just a terrific job to tip that one back in.
And Portis throws it down.
Well, what you want to see from Elfrid Payton are floor general skills on full display. Finds the open teammate. Nice.
And the activity he shows around the rim is why he is such a respected defender.
And what you love about his work defensively, the ability to challenge and change shots without fouling.
Great teamwork punctuated by a strong finish.
Going right to the rim, which is where you want transition opportunities to end.
And it's out of bounds. The Wizards will take it the other way. Now here's Napier. And so it's the Washington Wizards with a 6-point.
The 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hey, welcome back to the NBA. A pretty close game for the Wizards throughout the first quarter. They never dug too deep a hole for them. Thanks for joining.
We've got second half action for you, and if the next couple quarters are similar to the first, this one could go down to the last possession. Nice game. Great performance by R.J. Barrett.
Yeah, and just look at the numbers from the first half. He has been very efficient.
I think they've taken their time. They've showed incredible patience. It's a sign of a well-coached ball club.
So on the floor for Washington, Hachimura and Bryant are in the middle. Napier is out there with Brown, and it's Bunga in at the 3, the small forward. Here's Bryant. A good finish at the rack off the slick feed. Bryant's got the lead, back up to 8 now for the Wizards. Here's Payton. Laid in with a nice touch off the glass. Payton's got his second bucket of the night.
Well, the big man, Taj Gibson, pretty assist there, Kevin.
There's the pass to Bryant. Down low. And the basket by Napier. And the Wizards lead by 8.
And they're beginning to just flat out fall apart defensively right now, especially on the interior.
Whoops, they pick off the pass. Pass to Bonga. Got a piece of it. And with a little over a minute gone, the second half is underway. He hangs in there and cashes in on the second chance points.
Well, they're winning largely because of this guy's play. He has been sensational.
Barrett, and it's sent back by Bryant. Here's Bonga. Dishes it to Bryant. It's rebounded by Payton.
Yeah, but the hand in the face, it's critical that you contest his shots every time down the floor.
And so Bryant will bring it up for the Washington Wizards to the left side wing. Here's Hachimura. Plays it up and banks it in. Hachimura's got the lead up to 12 now for the Wizards. Over to the left wing. Barrett wide open. He fires. And the wing jumper offline. The Wizards have gone 5 of 7 from the field in the third quarter. Let's see if they can keep it up. And that one's good. Hachimura.
You have to push Hachimura out of there if you're the defense. He's a real problem on the interior.
Good, and it's Napier with the assist that time. Napier's got 5 assists in the game. Payton attacking, and he uses the glass on the layup. Payton's got 6.
Very hard to stay in front of Elfrid Payton. This guy has got the speed to get by defenders.
Here's Napier. Bryant trying to free himself up. Again, the Wizards score.
Oh, great ball movement there.
Here's Payton. Buries it down low. He's got 8.
A tough first half, but it's been a different story here since the break.
On the wing, Brown. Kicks to Bryant. Right wing. Napier dishes to Bryant. It's stolen by Barrett. And here we go. Payton heading to the hoop. Finished off the break. Payton's got 10 points now just in this quarter.
Boy, this guy has been terrific. The rest of the team, however, struggling.
And for a lot of these kids, Greg, it's interesting how quickly teams expect them to get up to speed. Case in point, R.J. Barrett.
Yeah, I mean, he had only the 1 year of college, already being asked to produce. Fortunately, he's very mature for his age and generally plays up to the level of competition. They are just killing him on the interior.
They blow the whistle just as he gets it off. That's 2 points with a chance for another one at the stripe.
You know, put a rough first half behind him. He's absolutely crushing it here in the second.
So New York going with almost an entire new group here. Mitchell Robinson's checked in for Gibson. Bobby Portis comes in for Randall. Kevin Knox is checked in for Maurice Harkless. And it's Reggie Bullock in for Barrett.
I think Elfrid Payton has exciting potential. He's got unbelievable defensive instincts and work habits. He just needs to develop a little bit more on the offensive end.
Knicks trail by 11. Knox. Portis trying to free himself.
Absolutely ferocious finish from Mr. Knox. Just salute him.
54 seconds left in the third.
Oh, inflicting some punishment with the two-hand flush.
They're going for the throat. Fast break, here we go. And Robinson wide open, he shoots. A three-pointer is right on target. Robinson's got 5 now.
And the D really on its heels on that possession, didn't know what to do.
Nice shot by Portis.
Pretty dime there, the kind of ball movement coaches love to see.
Mahinmi passes to Wagner. Rebounded by Knox. The Knicks have gotten 8 of their 11 shots to drop since the break. A great third quarter for them offensively. That one's good, and the Wizards' lead is cut down to 10 on the bucket from Payton.
You know, you have to like that he's still getting quality touches and delivering now after getting blanked in the first half.
Pass to Hachimura. That one rolling around and runs out. Here's Knox. Here's Bullock. Off with the layup.
And not allowing the shooter even an inch of breathing room on that one.
Right. He stays connected, and great timing on the contest.
And so it's the Washington Wizards going into the break with a... And while we can now, let's take a look at today's State Farm assist of the game.
And the definition of teamwork right there, guys. I mean, what great communication between them, and what a beautiful feat.
And, Greg, nothing better than chemistry, right? Working together to create a bucket.
And with 3 quarters behind us, let's see what this fourth period holds in store for us. We've got Wayne Ellington. Portis is out there with Knox. Then it's Mitchell Robinson. And it's Ntilikina in at the point guard position. That's the 5 for New York right now. And so he hits the technical free throw.
Well, Frank Ntilikina still trying to find his niche, right? You've seen him spend some time at the point guard. You've seen him on the wing. This guy has got to find the position that maximizes his impact.
And Robinson wide open. He shoots. Wide open, couldn't capitalize.
I'd love to see them impose themselves a little more on the backcourt. That's a great way to find confidence. Always a surefire way to get back in the game. And nice job taking what the defenders gave him. These guys need a gut check right now.
Well, simply stated, simply not enough effort, not enough attention to detail. They've gotten run over this evening.
Doris, as you said with Ntilikina, it's been a search to find the right role for him in the NBA.
When you're a high draft pick, Kevin, as you know, there's always expectations. And for Ntilikina, I don't necessarily think his role has been clearly defined to this point. Once he sorts that out and his offense comes along, because of his defensive prowess, I think he should be fine.
Reggie Bullock, he's checked in for Ntilikina. He hits both from the stripe.
Boy, a really soft touch on display. It is a luxury to have a big man who can hit from the line at a consistent rate.
Knox misses. Wizards leading by 11. Fourth quarter still young, just over a minute play. Here's Hachimura. Count it. Hachimura's got 10 points in just the second half.
Simply crushing it right now. So much more accurate in the second half than he was in the first.
And that'll be 2 free throws coming up. Officials on the call with the foul.
And Kevin, defensively, if you have got to foul someone, this isn't a bad choice. For Mahinmi, it's been a bit of an adventure at the free throw line.
For the Knicks, Gibson comes in for Mitchell Robinson. And Julius Randle subbed in for Bobby Portis. And a switcher also for Washington. Bonga's checked in. Bullock passes to Ellington. From past the arc. Drops in the tray. Ellington's got his first 3 points of the game. Doris, you've accomplished so much in your award-winning career. What was your first experience in broadcasting?
Kevin, my first experience was I left coaching and they put Providence College women's basketball on radio. That was the first ever game I got to call. It was so cool. Tell me yours. What was the very first? Did you study this? How did you get into broadcasting?
I did. Our high school had a radio station, and the first basketball broadcast was underneath the bleachers, looking through popcorn boxes and legs of the people that were standing in the bleachers so that I could see the court from the baseline.
Amazing.
Because that's where the telephone cables were to plug in our equipment. I was 16 years old.
Incredible.
I remember it very well.
Incredible.
It's a +5 advantage for them in rebounding after that one. Pretty much all of their buckets coming from inside the paint now.
Inside. And it goes out of bounds. That went off Mahinmi. This is checked in for New York. Payton comes in for Wayne Ellington. And then for Washington, Thomas Bryant, he's checked in for Mahinmi. Brown comes in for Robinson. And it's Napier in for Smith. It's good on the putback.
That is really good work there on the offensive glass.
Outside Bryant. Pass to Hachimura. And the pass to Bryant. Here's Hachimura, defended by Gibson. 5 on the clock. All sorts of time. Basket good. And the Wizards lead by 13.
And right there, you see the decision-making ability of Hachimura. Sets his man up perfectly.
Stripped it away. Brown against Gibson.
And he pulls off the Houdini to make that catch and slam it through.
Stupendous alley-oop. Passes it to Harkless. From deep. Bonga pulls it in. And so it's Bonga who brings up the ball for the Wizards.
And so just rolling to the finish line now in what has been a very confident-looking performance for the Wizards.
Their hard work on the glass paid off.
I tell you what, they're both excellent rebounding teams, and it was a tough battle underneath all game. And I think ultimately that earned the W.
And guys, at this point in the long NBA season, this will go down as win number 25. It's tipped. Hachimura the pass to Bonga. Now here's Gibson. Defense is right there. Over to the wing. Floats it up for Randall. And stolen by Napier. From the arc. Brown controls the rebound and puts it back up and in.
Well, they knew it would be a hostile environment, and they rose to the challenge.
And sometimes, Greg, when everyone's rooting against you, it seems to bring the unit closer together. It certainly did tonight.
Now Napier out to the wing. Nice ball movement by Washington. Here's Bonga. And the 3 off target. New York with the ball. 17-point game. Here's Harkless. Takes the assist and lays it in. Picked out the pass nicely.
Great chemistry between two teammates. Love the passing.
And Elfrid Payton with the foul. That's foul number 2 for him.
Substitution on the court.
6 seconds left in the fourth. Smith surveying the D, can't connect. And so it's Washington easily grabbing this one. This was a very strong showing for him, Greg.